You remember when the Titanic broke apart and half of it sunk down,
Yeah,
and then
this might float,
and then for a second half of it stayed up until the bottom half dragged it down. That's where you guys were at.
Yeah, we righted the ship and we're like, hey, maybe
this
is a lot of metal. Maybe we'll stay up.
And now you've got Eberflus clinging to like a door like Jack.
Yeah.
But then Rose lets go.
Yeah.
And Ryan Poles is going to let go. You told me you would never let go, Rose.
On today's Part of My Take, Week 8 of the NFL, we've got a lot to talk about. The Chiefs lose to the Broncos. The Niners might be in trouble. Kirk Cousins. A lot of games. Every game, fastest 2 minutes. A great Monday recap for everyone. And it is brought to you by our friends at Game Time. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, comedy, music, and theater events near you. We were in Madison on Saturday night. Badgers versus Ohio State. I used Game Time, hooked the boys up. Great tickets, great seats. You can see them before. That's the best part of Game Time. And they're obsessed with finding ways to help you save money on tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats, find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. With zone deals, you pick the section and Game Time picks the seats for an average of 18% savings. And the Game Time guarantee means you always get the best price if you find the tickets in the same section and row for less. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PMT for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed with Game Time. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take. Today is Monday, October 30th, week 8. Whoop, whoop. Tick, 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 tick. First whoop in the new studio. Whoop, 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 whoop. Some spread. We start in Pittsburgh, where Travis ATN News Network Wams gained his way to a tough 74 yards on Sunday as Trevor Laurent is too damn high, is issuing eviction notices to all the hashtag analysts as he commanded the Jaguars offense on a wet, sloppy day. Najee by nature said, "You down with OPP?" which today stands for ouch, painful Pickett, as he left the game with a rib injury. Doug P.E.D. Urson was coaching with extra T as the Jaguars. Yes, the Jaguars have won 5 straight football games. Huh? Jaguars 20, Steelers 10. Whoop, whoop.
We head over to D.C. where Sam Halloween came dressed as a franchise quarterback, throwing for 4 touchdowns with only 1 sack of candy. Jalen Hurts got out of his Garfunkel singing "Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard" as Jones scored his first touchdown in the Eagles jersey. And Ron Rivera is such a bad coach. It should be against the law. It was against the law because he's on his way. I don't know where he's going. As Gay J. Brown absolutely loved Emmanuel Forbes man-to-man, leaving Raw John happy with a win. The Eagles, 34. The Commanders, 31.
It was 38-31. We got a producer who's giving a little confused look. Like
the Eagles scored 38 points. The Washington Commanders scored 31 points, unfortunately, TJ.
Our producer said, "You want to fucking go?" He said, "You want to fucking go?"
You just wait for the playoffs.
I look ridiculous.
You don't want to see these Commanders in the playoffs if you're a dirty bird.
Down to Big D, where Daxon Bronson Prescott looked Albanian as Sean McVay said, "Hey, you're peeing all over me." The Cowboys took one look at the Rams secondary on Sunday and said, "Fuck, that's delicious." Deron DeSantis Bland had quarterbacks in Guantanamo this year, scoring his 3rd pick 6 on the season. And Dallas showed a lot of Forrest Gumption as Mike McCarthy said, I think you should throw the ball. I think you should throw the ball to CD Alabama." And they did for 158 yards and 2 scores. Cowboys 43, Rams 20. I started to slip into a Brandon Walker.
As a walk
Why?
up to Green Bay, where the Packers missed their best good friend Bubba Franks, as they were without a tight end again. And Green Bay fans said, "I'm not a very smart man, Janae, but I know what love is, and he stinks." As the Packers took another shot directly in the buttocks on their season. The big story from this game was the unfortunate injury to Kirk Cousins. But if there's one guy who knows how to look after the welfare of a rich man like Vikings owner Ziggy Wilf, it's the old gunslinger himself, Brett Favre, who would be happy to take a break from his busy schedule of building volleyball stadiums to defraud the Vikings to the tune of a couple $1 million. The Vikings, 24. The Packers, 10.
In Nashville, where DeAndre I. Hopkins isn't waffling anymore, serving up a short stack with 3 scores. After skipping work for the last couple of months, Derrick Henry Lockwood has officially returned and will be working every weekend for at least the next 3 months. Round of applause.
Yeah, congratulations.
He's
Derek.
doing his job. It's incredible.
It's the work balance, boom.
Titan fans are riding a huge wildo after their rookie quarterback threw 4 touchdowns on the way to a win. Titans 28, Falcons 23. Whoop.
Down to Miami, where Macklemore Jones found his game at the thrift shop. As he said, "When I was in 3rd grade, I thought I could play. As for Alabama, I wish I could stay." Juju Smith-Amy Schuster seems to have lost his role as the new plaything. And a waddle of red, a waddle of white, as Tyreek Hilly Joel and company continue to put out hit after hit, and Bill Belichick looked like he was going to have a heart attack, Mac. 2 ought to know by now. The Patriots suck. Dolphins 31, the Patriots 17.
To the desert, where Todd Munkin Donuts glazed the Cardinals and gave them a cream pie filling. Gus Johnson Edwards teamed up with La Maserati, driving his car into the end zone 3 times on Sunday. The Cardinals made a furious comeback late when Trey Danny McBride said, "I play real sports, not trying to be the best at exercising," as he bullied his way into the end zone. But it was all for naught, as Squash Dobbs turned back into a pumpkin, and Harbaugh's team played like a bunch of stallions. Get it? Get it? Ravens 31, Cardinals 24.
Over to Mile High, where Pat Sick Mahomes had the flu.
He had COVID?
No, he had the flu.
Oh, so COVID.
And Russell Wilson didn't look good, but he was packed with vitamins as he hooked up with Cortland. Let's give him something to talk about for a touchdown. Jaquan $1,000,000 worth of game made this loss very tough to wallow. And for the first time since my good friend Barack Obama was president, the Broncos beat the Chiefs. They never did it when my good friend Donald Trump was president, or when my very good friend Joe Biden was asleep at the wheel. Broncos 21, Chiefs 9.
Standing on a corner, Jameis Winston down in NOLA, such a fine sight to see. It's Olave, my lord, speeding in his Ford, getting pulled over by NOPD. Come on, Minshew, stop throwing picks, dude. Success isn't owned, it's leased, and now the Rams do. Saints go marching, 38-27. And that is the fastest 2 minutes from Week 8. And it's brought to you by our friends at Chevy. There's a new family with unstoppable grit, and they're the official partners of the Pardon My Take family, and that is the Chevy Silverado ZR2 family. The first ever Silverado heavy-duty ZR2 joins the franchise to make Chevy ZR2 the only truck brand with a full lineup of trucks ready for wherever your off-road adventures take you, with exclusive Multimatic DSSV dampers, rugged mud terrain tires, and up to 14 available camera views. The Chevy Silverado ZR2 and Silverado HD ZR2, a family with commanding an unstoppable grit. So head over to Chevy.com, check out Chevy Silverado and the family of Chevy ZR2s, the official trucks of Pardon My Take. We are a Chevy podcast. If you're thinking about getting a truck, become a Chevy person. Thank you to Chevy, our wonderful sponsor, sponsoring Fastest 2 Minutes. So head over right now to Chevy.com and check out the Chevy Silverado and the family of Chevy ZR2s, the official trucks of Pardon My Take. Okay, Week 8 in the books as we watch the Bears get absolutely demolished We will talk about this game at the end. But PFT, we got a week 8 to talk about. We got a lot of games to talk about. Just before we even get into the first game, maybe it's age. My brain wasn't able to comprehend 9 games at noon. It was a lot. It was overload.
There was a lot of games going on at once. It was hard to keep track of all of them at the same time. But we barely paid attention to the Texans-Panthers game.
We had it on the side TV.
I think we watched it in the last 10 minutes of the game. We started tuning into that. But yeah, it's a lot of football. And listen, I'm never going to complain about too much football.
I'm not, but I will complain about no bye weeks. I think that was kind of fucked up that they did that to us because we had a nice rhythm.
Especially week 8.
Right. And then you go no bye weeks. We're like, wait, what's going on right now? Because I feel like we're creatures of habit. When you have no bye weeks in early September, we're just so happy football's back. When you have no bye weeks at the end of the year, there's some teams and games that you can completely ignore because it's completely irrelevant. Mm-hmm. Right in the middle of the season, week 8, when we're truly finding out okay, these teams season is over. This team's in a funk. It was hard. It was hard. It was difficult. We like to watch ball. It was a lot of ball.
I came up with an alternate schedule that pretty much lasts from the start of September until the mid-May, but you play one game a night for that entire time, and then it's the summertime and everybody takes a break.
It is also very funny just thinking about how great our lives are. That the biggest issue is what was the hardest thing you had to deal with this week? Well, there were 9 games at once.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was tough.
Blake also ate a squirrel this morning. Sorry, a rat.
That's not a you problem.
He ate a rat.
That's a him problem.
I hope it wasn't poisoned. We're on Blake watch right now.
When you say ate, do you mean it was
swallowed
alive
whole?
Or dead?
It was dead. It was
dead. Swallowed it whole?
He picked it up out of the grass and then he started chewing something. I was like, Blake, get over here. And they looked at me and then he just swallowed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He's a growing boy. A lot of protein in a rat.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's get into the games. I would say the most important, not most important game, but most important story from week 8 is the first game, Vikings 24, Packers 10, and it is because of the Kirk Cousins injury, which sucks beyond belief. Kirk Cousins tears his Achilles. He is going to be a free agent next year. He also was playing awesome ball. He was on the precipice of being in the MVP conversation because the Vikings started to win games. They're now 4-3. They've rattled off some pretty nice wins, or 4-4, and it all comes crashing down with the Achilles. I genuinely feel terrible because we've had a long history with Kirk Cousins on this podcast where we've made some jokes, but I think the last year or so we've appreciated him more than made jokes, and it sucks to see this happen when he was playing great football.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins he's a very nice guy. And so if you know him, he's impossible to root against. You get frustrated with him sometimes. But I do feel bad I never thought I would feel bad for Kirk on the brink of another free agency because he's going to make a lot of money. But this is pretty bad timing as far as that goes.
I think it's more bad timing just because the Vikings were, to start the season, I mean, they were my pinky team. To start the season, it couldn't have gone worse. And the way they've played in the last month, they are, with the wide openness of the NFC, they were probably going to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
They were winning games without Justin Jefferson. Their defense was playing well. Danielle Hunter's leading the league in sacks. All these things were starting to come into place for the Vikings, and then this happens. It's a bummer.
It's a very big bummer. I'm going to quote Florio here because he asked a very interesting question. He said, "Am I the only one thinking that the Vikings should call Tom Brady?" I think he might be the only one.
Yeah,
he might be because you can get your retweets off, you can get your clout up in the event that any quarterback is injured just by being like, "Where's Colin Kaepernick?" That seems like an easy one to do. You can do, "Where's Tim Tebow?" But going straight to Tom Brady for the Vikings,
If the Vikings were 8-0, do you think that Tom Brady would entertain it?
Let's ask Hank, the Tom Brady whisperer.
I don't.
The Vikings receivers are phenomenal. They're winning games without Justin Jefferson, like I said. Jordan Addison, when we do our rankings of best position groups all time, it's probably going to be Vikings receivers because it feels like they just get generational talent after generational talent. Justin Jefferson is that generational talent, and Jordan Addison is really damn good and has been really damn good in his first 7 starts or 8 starts. I think Tom Brady, if they were 8-0, he would at least take the call.
I think he would.
He would take the call.
He would take it.
He would take the call.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Hey,
and
what's
he'd
up?"
say, "Thanks for the call." No.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
Okay.
If they were 8-0, Hank.
Minnesota?
Yeah,
Dude,
winning a
as
Super
he was
Bowl for
taking
the
the
first
call-
time
You don't think-
in the franchise history.
As he was
You don't
taking the
think
call,
Tom
he would
Brady-
open his phone, look at the weather app, and be like, Minnesota.
Oh yeah, because they play outside, right?
Yeah, but just living in Minnesota.
Yeah, Tom Brady would never live in a cold weather area. That doesn't sound like
He'd have to
something he
live
would
in
do.
Minnesota for 3 months.
I don't think he would do it.
Okay, I think he'd take the call.
I think
He'd definitely take the call.
He would take the call and he'd say, "I'm interested. What number?" And then he'd be like, "Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah,
Sorry."
but maybe if Justin Jefferson called him. What are the Vikings going to do? So Jaron Hall, sorry, BYU, I believe.
Yep.
Because I bet on him and then Puka didn't play and I got smoked. These are bad memories. Jaron Hall backup. Who are they going to like? Taylor Heineke?
I've got a couple answers for him.
Okay, because I have a few names as well.
Okay, Taylor Heineke is one.
Yep.
They should definitely inquire about him. Another one, Colt McCoy. And I keep trying to press Colt McCoy back into the league. I wanted to see him on the Jets when Aaron Rodgers went down. I feel like Colt McCoy would be a good answer there. Let's see who else. Kyle Sloter. Kyle Sloter, you had the best preseason quarterback of all time playing on your team. Give Kyle Sloter a shot.
So like Florio being the only one to mention Tom Brady, you were definitely the only one to mention Kyle Sloter.
I am 100%, but they should be mentioning him. Kyle Sloter is a good player. He is a good football player. Give him a shot.
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett for sure.
Yep.
I was gonna say Justin Fields. That would be. I think Tyson Bagent.
Maybe
they've seen enough of him.
I'd like to see Brett Favre come back just for one game and have him get absolutely destroyed, just wrecked. Have him play against the Saints again and have him get just his face mask shoved into his nose. That would be fun.
What if the Titans sold as high as you possibly can sell on Will Levis?
Yeah, I don't hate
He was
that.
phenomenal today.
Tannehill, you could probably get Tannehill for the rest of the year.
That's Kirk Cousins adjacent.
Yeah,
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, like Kirk Cousins if he had like a partially torn Achilles. That's what you're getting.
If there was anyone to take this role for the Vikings, I would like it to be a Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill, or Jimmy G.
What about this? Trade for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
Because the Jets are hot right now with Zach Wilson.
Faster timeline on his Achilles.
Exactly. Get him back.
We finished the whole process.
Get him in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And that would actually complete the Aaron Rodgers to Brett Favre.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
fully.
Yeah. So
that's what they should do. Memes, what do you say?
Do it.
You like Zach Wilson, don't
Memes
you?
is feeling himself right now. The Jets, he's feeling himself.
Yeah, it was a barn burner today.
He's walking around with his chest puffed out. Either way, the Vikings are playing great ball, and now we don't know what's going to happen because it sucks a lot. And they went into Lambeau, and that was never a game. And that's the other part of this story. I foolishly thought this was the spot to back the Packers because it was the Vikings off a big win against the Niners. The Packers looked terrible. Turns out the Packers are just dog shit.
Yeah,
They're just a dog shit team.
They're bad. Did you know that this was it continues a 32-year winless streak against the Vikings by the Packers unless they have Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre playing. That's a long time that they haven't beat the Vikings
Without
Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre. Yeah.
I have some I think they call them insult stats. I somehow am at the end of a lot of insult stats with the Bears. I found a couple funny insult stats that I wanted to share with you, PFT.
Okay.
Kind of a ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun situation. The Brewers, who got swept in the wild card, have more wins in October than the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, wow. That is interesting.
1-0.
Yeah.
That's interesting, right?
It's very interesting.
The Bucks, who I think the Bucks played tonight, so it doesn't really matter because they were 1-0 going into tonight. Their season started like 4 days ago. The Bucks have more wins in October than the Packers have touchdowns in the first half of all of October.
That's crazy.
The Packers haven't scored a touchdown in 10 consecutive first quarter quarters.
Really?
Or first quarter halves, yes.
There's no way
first
that's
and
right.
second quarter, 5 straight games, they have not scored a first half touchdown.
There's no way that's right.
It's right. And I'm actually going to have Shane put these on a little graphic for me. I'm going to tweet them out. It's going to be great. I also found one other insult stat that kind of goes back and insults me, but I'm going to say it anyway. PFT, did you know that Aaron Rodgers in 2018 and 2019 combined those 2 seasons, so 32 games, he had 6 interceptions Jordan Love in 7 games has 8 interceptions.
That doesn't sound like a good sign at all for the Green
That's
Bay
pretty
Packers.
bad. They got to actually give Jordan. Listen, Jordan Love, he doesn't have an offensive line. The kid's got talent. You got to maybe extend him, give him some more years.
Jury's
give him a
still
chance.
out. Jury's out.
Jury's
Let's
out.
wait till all the facts come out on Jordan Love. I was going to throw in one other insult stat, but I'm not going to.
What? Do it. Do it.
Well, no, you're not going to like this.
Oh, you're going to insult me?
Yeah, well, it's going to be a double.
Well, why would you do that?
That's why
Go
I'm
ahead.
That's why I'm not going to do it.
Go ahead.
I won't do
No,
it.
fair's fair.
I won't do it.
Fair's fair. It's just interesting because the Packers just stink. And it's going to take a while for my brain to realize that they stink, but they fucking suck.
I was just going to say, you know what? Wisconsin's won 2 games in October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Here we
yeah.
go.
They've
Yeah,
won
yeah.
2. They've won 2.
Hey, well, guess what? The Badgers are bowl eligible.
Yeah, there you
Is
go.
JMU?
The Packers are not.
Is JMU?
We'll see. We're going to wait till all the facts come out on that one.
Oh, okay. We're playing for a bowl.
Where are you guys ranked? I'm trying to look at. I don't see a number next
I
to
mean, you
your
guys
team
play
name.
Sunbelt teams.
23.
Your
We're
best win is
23.
Virginia,
Looks like 23. Who beat UNC? Pretty good.
who lost to Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech's a good football program.
UNC,
Great football program.
The shine has come off UNC very quickly. We'll talk college football on Wednesday. But yeah, the Packers are bad. They're officially a bad team.
They are.
Like, there's no.
They're a bummer.
Yeah.
They're no fun to watch.
Isn't that crazy though? 10 first half quarters, they have not scored a touchdown.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's so bad to start out every single game. That's even including a bye week where you'd think they'd come out hot and everything dialed up. No. They just put themselves in holes, and then Jordan Love tries to get him out until he throws an interception.
So here's one stat that I saw that I didn't believe at first, because when you think of the Minnesota Vikings, you don't think of like perennial winners, perennial like closeout guys on the Vikings, but they're 52-1 when they lead in the fourth quarter in their last 53 games. That's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Their one loss is the Blair Walsh game, where he missed like, what was that, like a 30-yarder?
Yeah, against the Seahawks.
Against the Seahawks.
In that game when it was like 0 degrees.
But the Vikings just don't lose. If they have a lead in the fourth quarter, they will win the game.
Wow, that is actually a pretty impressive
It's
stat.
wild, right? Because you don't think of the Vikings as being like they'll stomp on your throats.
Yeah,
You
if
think
they
of, like,
don't
Vikings,
give them a lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you think
it's
of the
over.
Vikings playing like weird close games, but no, if they have a lead in the fourth, they will kill you.
I don't know. Like, I was looking at the Vikings schedule. I still think if they can get even anything out of Jaron Hall, like, it's going to be tough because Kirk Cousins was playing great, but they still could salvage some of their season. It will be interesting because now we're 1 day away from the trade deadline.
I think it's Tuesday. Is it Monday or is it Tuesday?
So they might start trying to unload some things.
I got another guy, Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Bring him home.
Yeah.
He's in Detroit right now. We're in number 50.
That would actually be perfect.
It would be cool, wouldn't it?
Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Tyson
Okay.
Bagent just threw his 3rd interception of the game.
He might not be the guy.
He might not be the guy. That's okay.
He's a fun guy,
tested it.
though.
We tested it. It's actually better. You know what? Haha. I'm laughing.
You're trying for a draft pick. You're trying for the first overall pick.
Well, not only that, but you don't want to have a QB controversy. It gets all messy, and people got to take sides, and people got to argue, and like you basically have to walk around and have this conversation everywhere you go. Like, no, it's fine. He's not. He's a fun moxie guy, and he might be a backup for a very long time.
He might have the it factor.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean that he's good,
Right.
But he's got the it factor.
right. He gets rid of the ball quickly. Okay, so next game. Eagles 38, Commanders 31.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with some Eagles stats, and then you can tell us, PFT, how you're feeling. A.J. Brown is absolutely ridiculous after the Week 2 win against the Vikings when he was seen arguing with Jalen Hurts on the sideline. Remember, Jalen Hurts had to answer questions in the media. A.J. Brown didn't speak to the media. Since that moment, he has had over 125 yards in 6 straight games, and that is an NFL record. It's absolutely ridiculous how good he is. And the Eagles are better than the Commanders, although the Commanders play him well.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair thing to say. It's going to be a close game, so that's why, Max, you don't want to see us in the playoffs. If we make as the 6th seed, if we get in there as a 6th seed and you guys are, well, no, then you'd be trying to remember how the seeding works there. You don't want to play us in the playoffs.
They'd have to be a 2 seed. You'd be a 7 seed.
And then you don't want to play us.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Sam Howell had a great day today. Sam Howell looked awesome.
Until he did.
He threw one bad interception, but he also could have won the game a couple times. Terry McLaurin had some bad drops. I'm more concerned about what it is Ron Rivera does on this team.
Mm-hmm.
There was a moment when the Eagles were driving. It was 4th and 4, They completed a pass to Devontae Smith. Ball hits the ground. They rule it a catch on the field. Rivera stands there on the sidelines with his transition lenses darkening, depending on whatever his mood is at the time. It's like a mood ring for his eyes. Doesn't do anything, doesn't say anything. The Eagles sprint up to the ball. They run a play like really, really fast, get the snap off. Then they asked Rivera after the game why he didn't challenge, and he said, "Well, I didn't see the replay on the jumbotron, so I didn't want to throw my flag."
Fair answer.
Is that how we're running things now? Where your coach waits to see it on the jumbotron and decides whether or not to throw a flag? And he's like, and then the Eagles are sprinting up to the ball, trying to run a snap, and so I ran out of time to throw. Why do you think they were sprinting up to the ball, Ron? What do you do here? What does Ron Rivera do here? Is my big question.
Verbal meme: Michigan State and Ron Rivera. The jumbotron let us down.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. The jumbotron let us down. Ron Rivera let us down. It's bad. We're going to be probably trading away either Sweat or Young by this time tomorrow when the show comes out.
I heard maybe Bears.
I've just reached the point where I will be rooting for whatever team gets Young or Sweat.
Yeah.
It's like root for your guys. That's why I like cheering for Trent Williams. When you're a really bad team, you develop all these different layers of cope and all these different habits that you pick up through years of ineptitude. And one of my favorite ones is just rooting for guys that I used to root for. But I tell myself, you know what? It's more about these guys that were so much a part of the fabric of the community, Big Cat, when they were around. You want to see them do well when they go somewhere else, which is why I was so disappointed when Trey Turner and Bryce Harper got out in the 9th inning. That was tough for me personally, as just a fan of the community.
This is mean what you're doing.
But no, congrats, Max. You guys are a better team. Although Sam Howell, I do think. So here's where I'm at with Sam Howell. Sam Howell is the guy.
He played very well today.
He is the guy.
He was Peyton Manning.
He was amazing today. He might have been the best quarterback in the NFL this entire week. Like he was that good.
Will Levis.
He was fun to watch. Will Levis was
Jalen Hurts
he was
also
really,
played
really good.
well.
Jalen Hurts did okay.
Nope.
Is he all right? Is he like fully
Jalen
healthy?
Hurts played very well.
Don't
Jalen
say he
Hurts
played okay.
very well.
Okay, he did play very well.
324 touchdowns.
Yeah, he played very well, but he's not healthy.
No, but that just goes to show how the heart of a lion that guy has. That's my guy. That's my quarterback. You can tell that he's not 100% right now. Mostly getting on and off the field, he is like hobbling to the sideline every time. But he just goes out there and takes hits and wins football games.
That's your guy. That you have his back. If anyone says they hope Jalen Hurts gets hurt, Max will just sit there on his hands and do absolutely nothing. That's how much of his guy it is.
That's not true.
That's exactly what happens.
Stern speaking to.
And he'll also like think about what he should have said like 2 days later, and then he'll say that.
Jerk story shit.
I thought yes.
The French actually have a term for that. They call it staircase wit, where like you make it down the staircase and you're like, that's what I should have said. That's what I should have said. I'm going to go back up. But yeah, congrats, Max. The Eagles were, I think, a better overall team today, definitely. Our offensive line played really well, though. Like,
the only one sack.
Yeah, it was cool. Like when you give Sam Howell time, he can absolutely pick you apart. The Eagles took advantage of a ridiculously bad defense. And if you're Ron Rivera and you and Jack Del Rio are apparently in charge of this defense, do you think that the best way to get the confidence of your first round pickup is to send him in man-to-man coverage with A.J. Brown again? Like that's exactly where he lost all of his confidence. Let's go out there and let's get Emmanuel Forbes torched again on the outside. But
played him tough.
The Eagles are a very good team. Very good team, Max.
I also think this is the second time we've played the Commanders. I've only watched the Commanders from start to finish 2 times. Commanders look like a good football team to me.
I've only watched the Commanders start to finish once. They sucked.
Yeah, the Bears.
It's true.
No, the Commanders are. I've said this before. The Commanders have a lot of really good players. They just, as a cohesive team, don't play like good football. Like they have guys that are really, really fucking good at football, and then when you put them all together and have them stand on the same side of the field, it's like, wait, what happened?
Yeah,
Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson are great. Brian Robinson is awesome.
What do you
Logan
think?
Thomas is good.
Sam Howell is good.
Their defensive line is good.
What do you think the common denominator in all of this is?
Coach.
It might be the coach. It might
be the coach.
It might be Ron.
Might be the coach.
But Ron just needs more time.
In defense of Ron Rivera, it's probably got to be a weird feeling to have ownership change, know you're going to get fired. Like, everyone's had a job where they know, like, we know where this is going. We know where this is heading. It's kind of like Hank right now with Barstool. Like, we know where it's heading. We'll take our time off. We just aren't going to, like, put in a lot of effort. What?
You're doing your best Ron Rivera impression right now.
It's November.
You're not
Right at
talking.
right at the
You're
moment.
not talking. No, but it is like, if anything, Ron Rivera should be commended as being a relatable guy. Like, you've had a job that you know that it's not going to work out long term, and you kind of just mail it in.
He's been checked out for, I'd say, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
His job was basically to bring in some sense of stability to the organization, because when Snyder was running the team, it was like every other week was a dumpster fire of epic proportions. And Rivera's job was just to go up there and be like, say the word like certainly a lot. Like, we're certainly going to look into a lot of these things, and certainly this is a tough job, and you got to keep your eye on the big picture here, and certainly as a head coach, that's what I'm going to do. Like, he's very good at saying, he's like Roger Goodell in coach form.
Is there a chance? Because I think the change of ownership, Ron Rivera knows how this works. Once the owner gets changed, he's going to bring in his own guys. He's going to let the year play out. Is there a chance Ron Rivera's an AWL and he stopped trying because PFT kept on saying that the deal has been done for the last year and a half? The
There's a
timelines match up.
There's a chance.
The timelines match up.
No, we saw him on the side of the road that time, and he wouldn't get in the car.
Well, I mean, we also were like 6 deep in a car, and we're like, "Hey, Ron, coach, get in the car."
Yeah, but you know what?
but if
he's
he was
like,
an
"No
AWL,
thanks,
he'd be
guys."
like, "Oh shit."
Mike McDaniel would have gotten in the car.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a fun coach.
He would've
would've
sat
done
on
it.
our lap.
Yeah, for sure. We could
Yeah.
just squeeze him
Vrabel.
in the trunk.
Vrabel would have
jumped on the roof.
stole our car. Yeah, he'd been like, "This is my car now."
Yeah. Rivera was just walking sadly by himself at the combine, like 5 blocks away from where any events were happening. That should have been a clue. Where
He
it's
probably was
he
just
going on a walk, clearing his mind, being like, "What? So I need to sell my house soon. I got to get that on the market, hire a realtor. My kids might have to switch schools."
No, but he probably was walking by himself being like, "This PFT guy said the deal was done. He put T-shirts out,
Yeah.
and the deal hasn't been done. What are we doing here?"
I was right. So, yeah, Rivera, he knew that he was gone going into the season too, because he gave a preseason press conference where he said, this is a very tumultuous time for the franchise, and I don't know if I'm going to be here next year. So my job is to set the team up with as good player. He sounded like he was checked out already once the season started, and he's certainly coached like a guy that's 100% checked out on everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Josh Harris's MO is. Max, maybe you can tell me. As you know, he owns the 76ers. He's done, I think, a great job. He got an MVP there. I would love an MVP.
Yep.
For the Commanders.
Almost Eastern Conference final appearance.
Yeah, he has the confetti ready to go at any given time. But I'm just curious to know, like, from your perspective, will he fire a coach mid? Well, I guess he didn't fire Doc Rivers mid-season, did he?
How's Max been owned this much while we're talking about his 7-1 team?
This is all
the
I
best
have.
team in the NFL right now, record-wise, and we're just finding a way to just twist the knife on it.
It's all I have. I'm trying to deflect from the fact that I have to get a perm.
Max.
Yes, that okay.
Yeah, you do have to get a perm. You do have to get a perm.
Where does one go to get a perm?
Sport Clips.
Sport Clips. Okay.
Yeah, they'll perm you up.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get so
No
fucking
problem.
permed. I mean,
Yeah.
Perm Edwards.
Yeah, you're gonna look great, Max. I will give you a chance here. You're 7-1. Jalen Hurts is hurt. Dallas this week.
We're on to Dallas.
So, how are you feeling overall about the Eagles? Like, just stay as healthy as you can and keep winning games?
Winning this week would be huge because then you got the bye coming up next week. You got to get healthy. I still think there's probably going to be a move or two. I don't want to say it.
No, say it.
Say
It's
it.
a podcast.
Just say it.
We may go after Derrick Henry.
Oh,
Okay.
That-
you do think that every good player belongs
Yeah,
to
you're
you.
the Yankees now. You're the Yankees.
Yes, and that is that. Well, those were rumors that were coming out.
Great and Kelly Green.
Those are rumors that were coming out like last week, and then Kenneth Gainwell had the big fumble today, and they obviously don't want to put too much on DeAndre Swift, so they want to go 2 backs. But if Kenneth Gainwell is not going to be the guy, and Derrick Henry's available, and,
What about Jonathan Taylor? Well, he just signed a new deal.
Yeah.
Did
he
you
just
see
said-
the I don't know if it's 100% true or not, that Kenneth Gainwell was replying to DMs during halftime?
Is this true?
Oh no, Max.
I did not see that, but I said I literally never want to see Kenneth Gainwell again, and then he actually had a pretty decent game after that fumble, but I still would.
You never
like,
want to
well-
see him again?
On
You
the
want him
football
to
field?
die?
On the football field.
Oh.
What kind of DMs are we talking about, Hank?
The guy said, "Hold on to the football, you fucking bum,"
Agreed.
at 2:06.
Wait, are these from Philly? Max Talente?
I think so.
Philly
and then
Mays?
he replied, "Little boy, don't text me."
Little boy.
That sounds like
Yeah. Little boy.
That sounds
I mean,
like
that
a
was a
Jersey
li-
Jerry DM.
That was a little boy play.
Yeah.
That fumble was a little boy play.
Okay, so no more Kenneth Gainwell
Yeah, and beat Dallas.
and beat Dallas.
Beat Dallas. That's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, it's a scary game, but it's at home. Apparently, the get-in price is $500 right now.
Whoa, probably less than that on game
Well,
time.
yeah, game time, last minute deal. You'll be fine.
I have a hypothetical. And
Okay.
I verbalized this during the game, but I want to get everybody's opinion on this because I was thinking about, we were watching the Browns game simultaneous to when the Commanders are playing the Eagles. We have a very good backup quarterback on our team, Jacoby Brissett. He has some history in Cleveland. He was pretty good for the Browns. They love him there. If you were the Browns, would you take a trade, Jacoby Brissett, for Deshaun Watson straight up right now, if it meant that the Commanders would have to take on Deshaun Watson's entire salary? Would you wash your hands of Deshaun, no pun intended, and move on and say, okay, we're going to cut our losses. Deshaun, there's a lot of money tied up for him. We know that Jacoby is an average to maybe slightly above average quarterback. for us.
Maybe.
It sounds ridiculous to say because Deshaun Watson is obviously his upside is way, way better than Jacoby Brissett's. But there's definitely a part of that front office that is we really fucked up with this contract.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they would.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Would the Commanders want that?
No, I'm saying I don't. I'm saying I don't want it.
You don't like Sam Howell.
No, I said I don't want it, Max.
I-
Good point, Matt.
I have seen Sam Howell play 2 football games very, very well. I think Sam Howell's a good quarterback.
Yes.
You're not sold on.
What I just said. What I just
Is
say.
Sam Howell the guy?
What I said
No, you
5
keep
minutes
saying
ago.
the guy
I
right
just-
now.
I just no. Rewind the tape. You guys are putting words in my mouth. I just said Sam Howell is the guy.
But you don't say with your heart.
Sam Howell is the fucking guy. He's the most guy ever.
Oh, okay.
He is the guy. The guy.
A guy?
How he played today is better than I've seen a Washington quarterback play probably since RG3's rookie year.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins had some nice games in there. I would much rather have, if you were to ask me next season, Sam Howell or bring Kirk back, it's coming home.
Well, yeah. Kirk's
Sam
gonna
Howell.
be-
What about Sam Howell or Deshaun?
Sam Howell.
What about
But
Sam Howell
you-
or Caleb Williams?
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell or Drake May?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
They're such good friends. They would probably want to play together.
Okay.
I think Sam Howell is the fucking guy.
Okay, I'm
He's
happy. I'm happy.
Not
that you're
only is he the
convincing
guy,
yourself on this.
he's the goddamn motherfucking guy, bitch.
Okay. Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Is that good enough for you, Max?
It's good enough for me.
Listen, hey, you know what? You know what you've done? Thank you, Max. Thank you for doing this because now I have realized that this season is a massive dub for me.
Because you found a quarterback.
I have the guy.
Found a quarterback.
I have the quarterback. I had no illusion of making the playoffs. Maybe Soupy creeped in my brain at one point. But going into the season, I did not think we were going to make the playoffs. I did not have any expectation for it. We just got a new owner who rocks. Our old owner is off somewhere, probably drowning in the Mediterranean. And we have a quarterback, a franchise quarterback. I am happy with that. I'm very, very happy. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
This has been, I basically won the Super Bowl this year.
It's definitely, when you found your guy, talking yourself into it for 3 minutes like this, that definitely happened.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's the guy.
and also bringing up hypothetical trade situations where you trade for a bad quarterback.
And a bad person.
Yeah.
That was mostly
A double whammy.
That's what I'm saying. That's how soured I think the Browns are on this whole situation to the point where they would even entertain doing that if it meant get Jacoby Brissett back. I don't know. Maybe Browns fans would think that would be insane, but they do want Jacoby Brissett back. That was more about that side of the equation, not about my side, because I do not want Deshaun.
Didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seemed exactly like that.
Okay, it is.
It is.
If the Commanders trade for Deshaun Watson, I won't watch another Commanders game while he's a quarterback. How about that?
Wow.
How about that?
That's huge.
Don't
Way
want
to
him.
take a stand.
Don't want him. Many people in the media are talking about the Commanders potentially trading for Deshaun Watson. I'm just going to say I don't want him.
You don't want him.
I don't
you don't
want
want him. Okay. Next game. Oh, the tush push failed. That was awesome. Fumble.
Well, yeah.
No, that's a failure.
That's a fail.
A fumble is a failure.
A fumble's a failure.
I think that actually was smart by the Eagles. You got to fail a couple times. That way the Stephen Chase of the world can stop crying about this play working all the
And
time.
then the fake tush push was also sick.
Yeah, so that not the worst idea if the Eagles threw in a couple fuck ups here and there.
couple wrinkles to the
Yeah.
system. I like the play.
Yeah, I do too.
It's a good play.
Football.
And you've seen teams try to copy it, and it's not the same.
It's truly football. Okay, next one. Jaguars 20, Steelers 10. The Jacksonville Jaguars have won 5 games in a row in a wet, sloppy game where Kenny Pickett goes out with an injury. Mitch Trubisky comes in, didn't play great. Did the Bears just get the football? They're down 17. Maybe they did. My big takeaway from this game is that the Steelers have a recipe with this Steelers team on how to win games, and it's to make it ugly, play defense, and then have this heroic fourth quarter, like couple balls bounce your way, and all of a sudden you're winning the game. When the recipe works like 3/4 of the way, and then it fails in the fourth because, Kenny got hurt, they just look like a bad football team.
Yeah.
Because you watch the whole game saying, oh, it's only a 7-point game. Ooh, Steelers are in this game. And then when it doesn't happen, you're like, oh, so you guys were just never planning on scoring?
Yeah, the entire game, it was like the Steelers got him right where they want him.
Yeah.
Right where they want him. Right where they want. Oh, wait, shit, the game's over.
Yeah, and then so without the actual ending that the Steelers have become accustomed to, it's like, oh, wait, they actually kind of stink.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't really the Steelers that lost the game. According to Deontay Johnson, it was the referees actually did.
Yes.
So he said, I know that we don't blame losses on the refs, but they was calling some stupid stuff. They should get fined for calling bad, making worse, terrible calls and stuff like that. That's how pissed I am. They cost us the game. I don't care what nobody says. They cost us the game. So I actually agree with...
He said they must have got paid today or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't disagree with Deontay Johnson that refs should be fined if they fuck up calls.
Yes.
And the fine should be public.
Yes. And it should be a public, like, town square throwing tomatoes at their face.
Or yeah, they could do it that way, or they could get on like a big like duck boat and go through Pittsburgh and just throw a bunch of throw their cash out in ones.
Yeah.
To any Steelers fan that wants to pick it up.
The Jaguars are just a good football team. So 5 in a row, and yeah, I think they are a very good football team. Hashtag Pete Prisco was right.
Yep.
They're playing great football. They do get the Niners off a bye next, so that will be a good test for them. But, even in a wet, sloppy game, Trevor Lawrence didn't have his, best game. But you know what? Urban Meyer, smart. Travis Etienne, he drafted him in the first round. Everyone's like, you don't draft a running back first. That guy fucking is good at football.
Yeah, he is.
He won them that game.
There was that one catch that he had, though, where he just decelerated as he was trying to sprint to the end zone. I've never seen a player get slower faster than Travis Etienne did on that one. But yeah, he was running through the secondary all afternoon.
And the Jaguars defense has been playing great ball. I think it's now become, because every time a team like the Jaguars or the Browns, if the Bears ever get good again, there's certain franchises where if they get, even the Lions right now, if they play good football, I think our natural belief is it's the Jaguars. They can't be good. No, they're good. They're just a good football team. It's no longer, it's just the Jaguars. They're a good football team.
They are very good.
Yeah.
I would say they're a very good football team.
Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence, he walked back his terrible towel comments, which I was a little bit disappointed to see. If you go into Pittsburgh and you beat them after insulting the terrible towel, you should then take that towel and do like what the Titans did, stomp on it, wipe your butt with it.
The Jaguars did do that.
Oh, they did?
The Jaguars, after an interception, went and there was probably 3 guys went and stole towels out of fans' hands.
Love that. Good.
Which, that's a felony in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Those guys who got their terrible towels taken, they are within bounds to go hunt them down and beat the fuck out of them.
That's theft, technically, right?
It's theft of the highest degree.
You took another man's possession.
It's grand theft. Larceny.
It's grand theft towel.
It is.
Yeah.
Remember our coworker Jen Simons, who was a big Steelers fan, and she had a terrible towel, and she was like, I think we needed it for a skit once for advisors, and she was like, this has been passed down in my family through generations. This terrible towel means a lot.
Yeah,
you can't take someone's terrible towel in Pittsburgh.
But I love the fact that they did it.
Yeah.
I agree. It is theft of the highest order in Pittsburgh.
It's like stealing a child. It's like stealing someone's child.
But I love the fact that they're leaning into the rivalry with the towel, because we haven't seen a man versus towel rivalry like this since the Titans did it back in the late 2000s, where they stomped on it on the field, and then 2 years later, I think it was, who was it? It was maybe James Harrison suplexed Vince Young and said that was for the towel.
Yeah.
Later on. But
you don't fuck with the towel.
I like the football player versus towel rivalry.
Yeah. It is officially on. And the Jaguars have the Steelers number. It does feel that way.
Yeah.
It feels like every time they play. So the Steelers play Thursday night. We'll see if Kenny's okay. They said they're going to monitor it. Rib injury. I thought it was a shoulder. It was an old Drew Brees. Thought it was a shoulder. It was actually a rib. I don't really know what to make of the Steelers. I think they're just going to hang around all season, win a fair share of games, but I'll never feel fully confident until I see their offense put together a full game where they look good. And that even when Kenny was in today, it didn't look that way.
I think I read that it's been something like 50 games, maybe more than 50 games since they've had 400 yards of offense, the Steelers. And what I think is going to happen with this team, it's not going to be a surprise. I think they'll win a bunch more ugly games. They'll go 9-8, and Mike Tomlin will still never have coached an under 500 team.
Yeah.
And then everybody in Pittsburgh is going to be like, can we do something about mediocre Mike? And then everyone else is going to be like, he's never been under 500. Why would you fire a guy like that? And then we'll run it back next year.
But they do have, they play the Titans and the Packers next. That could easily be 2 wins. Oh, Tyson Bagent doing the lost kneel. That's the worst.
Oh, the surrender kneel?
The surrender kneel is always a bad look.
Yeah.
I don't care. I know the game is over, but you can't surrender kneel.
Go out on your sword.
I hate the surrender kneel.
So PFT, to your point, this was the 54th straight game the Steelers offense failed to come close to 400 yards. That goes back to the beginning of the 2020 season.
Yeah, it's been bad. It's been tough offensively for Pittsburgh. And you kept waiting today for like a strip sack by TJ, an interception by TJ, a forced fumble by TJ. You waited for TJ to score a touchdown.
They even had that moment when Herbig got the punch the ball out and they got a fumble, but they couldn't capitalize.
You got to score.
It was a perfect. They were playing the Steelers recipe, and then Kenny got hurt, and the Steelers recipe fell apart.
Yeah, when your defense sees a ball, you have to pick the ball up and score. For the Steelers to have a chance, and they do it a lot.
At least get to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, get you within like an easy field goal range.
Get you close enough that Najee Harris can get stuffed for 3 consecutive 1-yard gains and then kick a field goal.
It'd be ideal if you got it to the 2-yard line so that Najee Harris could have like barely a 2-yard gain on a swing pass.
And
score a touchdown.
Yes. Okay, so Jaguars for real. Steelers, who knows? Hopefully Kenny can play on Thursday. I would like to see Kenny play on Thursday.
I would too.
Okay, let's take a quick break and then we'll get to some more games. Coors Light, our favorite beer in the entire world. Hank and I were drinking some Coors Light in Madison this weekend. Coors Light, when you're in need for some chill fall vibes. There are so many great options, from college football games to Halloween costume parties to chilling on the deck, watching leaves fall. There's always a way to turn off and hit reset. For those moments when you need to soak in the season, reach for a Coors Light. It's made to chill. There's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way you always know when it's time to chill. When you head to hit reset, just open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Coors Light is the one I choose when I need to unwind. So when you want to hit the reset button, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Coors Light is delicious. Coors Light, Hank, drinking a Coors Light before a college football game on a Saturday afternoon.
Can't beat it.
There is
In the
nothing
fall.
better. In the fall.
Foliage.
There's nothing better.
Mountains.
So Coors Light, go great. Get it right now. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Okay, next game. Cowboys 43, Rams 20. I don't get many things right, so I have to take a little victory lap. When I do, the Rams stink. I told everyone on Friday, the Rams stink.
They were very bad today in every facet of the game.
I was right on this one.
I
was right on this one. The Rams are not we got fooled by the Seahawks week 1, and then they beat 2 bad teams in the Colts and the Cardinals. Colts, I'll say frisky. When the Cowboys get to play a bad team like the Rams, it was over. And it was over so fast. It was 10-3 with 43 seconds left in the first quarter, and then 3 minutes later it was 26-3. It was a pick six, a block punt safety, and a touchdown. And it was that. That was it.
Yeah, and you had the pick six for Deron Bland. That was his 3rd pick six of the season.
3rd.
The record is 4.
4.
So he's on pace to have 6 and a 6th pick sixes on the year, I believe.
Correct.
If I did my math right. The Cowboys have beat the Jets, Patriots, and Rams. So 3 bad teams.
The Cowboys kill those teams.
They've beaten those 3 teams at home by a combined 111-33.
And the Cowboys, credit to them, they stopped doing this like we want to just only do complimentary football. They realized that they have CeeDee Lamb, and he's really fucking good, and Dak played really well, and they threw the ball deep, and that's what the Cowboys should be doing. Like, they saw that the Rams secondary sucks, and they're like, we're going to torch you, and it's exactly what they did. CeeDee Lamb had 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dak was pretty much perfect. He had 1 interception, which was kind of a tip ball in the red zone. Like, if you're a Cowboys fan, that's the Cowboys you need. That's what they did. Offense, defense, special teams. I almost called him Minka Fitzpatrick because he got hurt. The Steelers. Micah Parsons was all over the field. Like, that is the recipe. That's a perfect Cowboys recipe. Now you got to do it against a good team.
I'm looking forward to that game because we're either going to get really, really pissed off Cowboys fans or we're going to get really, really pissed off Max afterwards. So
yes.
It's kind of a win-win for us. It's content no matter what. Fun stat about the Cowboys. Did you know that teams that have beaten the Cowboys are 0-8 after beating them? So I guess that'd be the Cardinals, who stink, and the 49ers, who have just kind of hit a wall right now.
Okay.
So it's bad luck to beat the Cowboys.
Bad luck. Yeah, no, the 49ers are 0-3 after they beat them.
So, Max, you might not want to beat the Cowboys.
Because then you'll lose the next game.
Yeah.
Oh, the next game's the bye.
Yeah, bye.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it's not just like the
So you
next
might
game.
lose to the bye.
You might lose every game for the rest of the
This
season.
is a sample size of 2.
If this stat holds true, you would then lose every other game that you play.
This is a sample size of 2 and really 1 because the Cardinals are bad.
Well, it's a sample size of 2, but also every game that they've played after beating the Cowboys.
Correct.
So 0-8 is the record.
Yeah, the
on that
Cardinals and Niners will never win a game.
Never
again.
win. Yeah, and the Eagles won't either if you guys win next week. So be very careful with the Cowboys game.
Bye.
There was a great moment before the game. DeMarcus Ware made it into the Cowboys Ring of Honor. Jerry Jones introduced him as DeMarcus Lawrence going into the Ring of Honor, which is very relatable from Jerry Jones because I think everybody said when they got DeMarcus Lawrence, like, that's too many DeMarcuses on this team that play the same position. We can't keep track of all this.
Yeah, that's tough for the big day.
Yeah.
Big day. I don't know what the Rams do now. They're in very much – I think the Rams came into the season – they have Matthew Stafford. They have an older roster, and they're like, hey, maybe we'll catch lightning in a bottle. They win week 1. Oh, maybe this will be lightning in a bottle. I think they're going to end up, obviously, outside the playoffs and not a very good football team. Now they have like a big transition that has to happen.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the Rams just became a, like, we love picks team,
right?
And they traded away everybody to get more draft picks after not ever having a draft pick.
They might have to because, I mean, Matthew Stafford hurt his thumb. He hurt it twice, I think, but he did. He was good enough that they had a touchdown drive to start the second half, but then he came out of the game once it became a 3-score game again. So I don't know what the Rams are a weird team. Like I think they're bad, and I think maybe this is the moment that people are like, oh, maybe they are actually bad.
Yeah, I don't think that they're bad. I think they're one of the best.
No, you're still falling for it.
No, they're one of the best bad teams.
I don't know if they're even that.
I think they might be.
No, I don't think they're even that.
I think they're better than the Cardinals.
Well, no, the Cardinals are just terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
They're not like the bottom 5 teams in the NFL, but they're of the next group, they're bad.
I think they might be top of that next 5. They might be like the 10th worst team in football right now.
I don't know. I'd take probably everyone in the NFC. Like I'd take the Falcons and the Saints and the Bucks maybe over them.
Take the Bucks over the Rams.
Maybe.
That would be a good game.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd like to see that. Baker revenge.
The Broncos are better than the Rams right now.
The Broncos might be. They might be rounding into form.
I'll have to do when the power rankings come out on Tuesday. I'll have to give some real thought into where I actually put the Rams. But I don't think they're not a good team, and they were getting a little too much credit for that Seahawks win. So now we're finally done with that.
You know what they
'Cause
are
it was
good
6,
for?
It was 6.5. What?
Gami.
Oh, yeah, you
I'm
gotta
over
Gami.
the score,
You got to
Gami.
Gami, Jake.
I'm over the score.
I'm just happy when Jake's
I'm happy for you, Jake. I'm over the scorigami.
Why?
There feels like it happens too much.
This is the 3rd time this season in 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's too many.
Wasn't it last year where it took like
Yeah,
a long time?
I
to
like
get
that.
first Gami?
I like
week
that.
6 or 7 to get one.
Right, 3 in 8 weeks is too much.
Okay. Well, the more that happens, you'll have less to deal with.
I know. I can't wait for the day when it's gone.
Could,
All right.
could the Rams hypothetically trade Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, that would be weird. I don't think they would, but because I think he would just retire.
Yeah, he's threatened retirement
Yeah,
like
he's
every
just like,
week.
I'm out.
Every week he's like, I might not come back to work next
Jake,
week.
so 3 Gami so far this year?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Gami?
No.
Just all of them?
Yeah.
Is there a Gami you want to see?
Another one in the Super Bowl. The last one we had was 43-8 Broncos and Seahawks.
Can you walk us through?
I guess it's because I don't really care because you can't win money off it. So it's like, who the
Yeah.
fuck cares?
Can you walk us through like why you love scoregami so much? Because I love the fact that you love them.
Because it's different.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not feeling-
hate scoregamis. I like that you like them. I hate scoregamis.
That's fair. I just like rooting for things that people don't really care about
Okay.
to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Like you guys are all rooting for players and bets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rooting for this.
Yeah,
You should be able to bet on a scoregami.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I guess I just don't. I think maybe it's because there's been too many this year. I liked it when it was when
Fair.
you had the first one. It felt like it hadn't happened in forever. Now, like it feels like every Sunday you stand in front of the TV, you're like Gami.
Also, sometimes it's just fun to see a good old-fashioned like 24-17 game.
Yeah, and this
Like
one,
I recognize those
We get
numbers.
that all the time, though.
I know,
This-
but it's nice being like, oh, that I've seen that before. I know exactly how they got there.
I also think what were the other Gamis this year?
It was week 1.
Because 43-20 doesn't feel like a Gami to me. That's not cool. enough
43
for
is
me.
hard to get in the NFL.
Okay, but still, 20. Come on, we see that all the time. I need like a double weird score.
We have Eagles Bucks. That was Monday Night Football, 25-11.
That was cool.
Sorry, this is the 4th.
Oh, see, I'm
Dolphins,
right. So you were
70
hiding one from me.
70
I'm right. These
70
things
to
suck.
20.
They have them every week.
And then 25-9.
It's like the fucking. You basically are like the NHL outdoor
Well,
classic.
No.
Yeah, no. You have them every week. You're
You
like,
got
we'll do
one
this
week
every
one.
single week. You're the England game. You just do it every week.
We
And
got
I'm
one
sick
week
of it.
one, and then we got back-to-back days.
Yeah.
And then we had my birthday. It was my birthday present.
Yeah, birthday gami
So-
was big.
Yeah.
Too many
is-
gummies.
This is the first one since week 3. It's week 8.
4 in 8 weeks is too many gummies.
Okay.
They got to be more special. They've ruined the gummy by making them.
All right, then I won't. No,
No,
I'm
no,
still
you-
going to take the picture in front of you.
Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah.
And you should. I'm not saying
Yeah.
you liking them is not the problem. I don't like the gummies happen so often.
Okay.
They got to slow down.
But again, we can have a handshake deal and be like, the more they happen now, the less you'll have to deal with them later on.
It's very
True,
true. It's like
true.
might as well get rid of them. What's the lowest
I'd
possible
like
gami?
gummies to go extinct.
Is it like 3-1?
6-1.
6-1.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
6-1 would be awesome.
That's
would be
my
insane.
personal
Right.
scoregami.
Right. There are certain ones
That's
that
a scoregasm for me.
yeah, there are certain ones that would look cool. 43-20, that doesn't feel like it's like
Also,
that
we had
shit
an
happened.
octopus today. Travis Etienne.
What's an octopus
When he
again?
scored a touchdown, and then he scored the 2-point conversion right after.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so if there's no more gummies this year and there's one in like week 17, I'll respect it.
Fair.
This is just 4 out of 8. Like, man, slow down. Slow down, gummies.
It's like like you said, the London games.
Yeah, right. It's like we can't do it every week. They need to slow
Well,
down.
good thing we got Germany next week.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm excited for that game. All right, speaking of, one of these teams is playing it. Dolphins 31, Patriots 17. Hank?
Yeah.
Your thoughts on the football game?
We are a football
your
podcast
fav-
talking about football
And
games.
the Patriots are your favorite team.
They are my favorite team. I am from Massachusetts. They did play against the Dolphins today, and they lost.
Facts only.
Okay? And
You
there's
are-
your
you are-
recap of the Patriots game.
You are Ron Rivera.
If I do, Big Cat turned me on to the draft projection machine.
Tankathon, it's the best.
We
Let's
were
actually update it now that the Bears lost.
lucky enough to be. I hope this doesn't mess up what I'm about to say, but we were lucky enough to be on the sidelines at Wisconsin last night. Very cool experience. Got to see it up close and personal. Got to see Marvin Harrison Jr.
Very fast.
light it up.
Maserati.
Marv. I looked on after the game. Patriots have projected 4th pick, and they would take
Ooh.
Maserati Marv.
Get
Okay.
Mac Jones a weapon.
And then I instantly got excited.
So you don't have the 4th pick anymore.
What the fuck?
So right now it's Arizona, Carolina, which is the Bears, Giants, Patriots. So you have the 5th pick now.
That
and
sucks.
I'm going down to Brock Bowers.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Baby Gronk.
Gronk. Yeah, baby Gronk.
The Bears have Drake May and Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's a pretty good combo.
Drake May can't beat Georgia Tech.
That's true. It's a reset on your entire franchise though. If you get
Drake
two
May
great
and
players
Marvin
like that, yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is so fucking good.
So good.
So good.
So good.
Like
so fast.
watching him in person, it was insane. He's so much better. He sticks out compared to everyone on the field.
Which is hard to do as a wide receiver, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Compared to some other positions. As for this game, Mac Jones didn't play terrible. Had one really, really bad throw, the interception.
Really bad.
Play calling was, left a lot to be desired. The Dolphins' offense is prolific. I will give the Dolphins credit. They are just constantly in motion. It seems very tough to stop. I thought the Pats defense did a good job. Like they were, confusing them. They were getting stops, a lot of third downs, but the Dolphins just have so much motion, so much speed. They're hard to stop. It's going to be. I think the Dolphins are the Super Bowl favorites.
Whoa. Whoa.
I said that a couple weeks ago.
They have
too.
to beat a real team, though.
They did.
Oh,
No.
the Patriots?
Yeah.
This Chiefs game will be the test because, all right, so last week we talked about the Dolphins
At this
potentially
point, you
fraud
could
watch.
do this team beat this team, this team beat this team.
Okay, but
Right, but-
let's do it just real quick here for the Patriots. So
the
Patriots
Chiefs lost to the Broncos.
What place are
the Dolphins hung 70 on them.
What place are the Patriots in the AFC?
Dead last. I have an
Yeah,
insult
yeah.
stat that I'm guessing
Okay,
you're going to read.
But no, but
it's-
Hank,
it's depressing.
Real quick, again, the Dolphins are not frauds. They are on fraud watch. The teams they have beaten are the Chargers, the Patriots twice, the Broncos, the Giants, and the Panthers. They have to win a game. They have to win a game against this Chiefs game will be a huge test for them. I will say in favor of the Dolphins, Jalen Ramsey coming back. He was the one who had the big pick on Mac Jones. That is a huge, huge thing for their defense that should give them a little toughness and get them out of that fraud watch.
Because you think that teams will have to throw the ball well to beat the Dolphins.
Right.
And if you have a cornerback that's out there that's like taking away a quarter or half the field, like Jalen is that good where when he's playing at his best, you have to account for him at every single moment, every single snap. So I do think that it does make the Dolphins less potentially fraudulent than they are.
And the best way to get out of the fraud watch is to play good defense because that's usually the sign of a fraud watch team is your offense is really good, but your defense is not sustainable.
And you can just say, oh, it's a track meet.
Right.
They're doing a track meet out there.
It's like, oh, when they play against a good defense and slows the game down, it's going to look different.
Also, when your owner is doing the waddle and then making out with his hot young
That's
girlfriend.
That was a great
a
cut.
very generous use of makeout.
Yeah, it was not a makeout.
It was a kiss.
They were
and I think it was his
Smooch.
old wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was just, whatever. She looked hot and young to me.
Yeah, it was a very much an old person. We've been married for a really long time. Let's have our lips touch for the least amount of
It
time.
was just fun seeing an owner kissing. That's
Yeah,
all.
it was.
Dolphins have the fifth best odds
Whoa.
to win the Super Bowl.
What was that?
That was Mike Tyson. Do you want to hear the sad stat? I'm surprised you don't have this.
Well,
No, go ahead.
Is it the
You've never beaten Tua?
Albert Breer,
Albert Breer
You've never beaten Tua?
never beaten Tua.
6-0.
6-0. Mike McDaniels was iced out on the sideline. I got to find out. Can we find out how much that watch was?
Yeah, wait, was that the sad stat that you never beat Tua?
No.
No,
Oh.
his sad stat is that 15 of the 16 AFC teams will be within 3 games of each other in the standings. The one outlier at the bottom, the New England Patriots.
Wow.
So the 6 wins over Tua is the most by any quarterback over Belichick in 29 years as a head coach.
Wow.
They're Nugget.
Kind of owns
Whoa.
Belichick.
Hank.
He owns them.
Because you were feeling like this game was, I mean, the first half, the Patriots were playing them tough.
They played decent. I don't know.
That's
It
so
is what
sad.
it is.
That's
It is
sad
what
to
it is.
come out of
Like
your
they
That's sad.
fucking suck. They're not going to make the playoffs. I'm not going to get excited about this team anymore. I'm going to root for, at this point, the smart analytical decision is to get a really good draft pick.
I'll
Winning
teach
games
you. I'll teach you.
Accomplishes nothing.
I'll teach you how to do that. I taught you about Tankathon. You got to, every single week is the same thing. You got to be like, it'd probably be better if we lost. When the game kicks off, your instincts will take over and you'll be like, I want to win this game. And then when your bad team starts playing bad because they are bad, you're like, oh, this is actually good. Literally what I just did Sunday Night Football. Sat down, was like, Tyson Bagent, let's go. First pass, Darnell Mooney. Yes, this is going to be awesome. We're going to shock the world. We're going to win outright. And then it all went down from there. And I was like, you know what? That's better. So it's not a bad, it's actually not a bad way to root for a team. Because if you do win, you're like happy, and if you lose, you're also happy.
Yeah, and the NBA season started. The Celtics are actual.
Oh, you can't do that.
Absolutely.
This is football. We're talking football.
Well, I'll give Hank this. The Celtics beat the Heat this weekend.
Oh,
congrats.
Fucking right.
that's huge.
Game
Game 2.
Yep.
Yeah, it is what it is. They played okay, not good enough to win, and the Dolphins look really good.
Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle had 233 yards combined, 2 touchdowns.
They just do so much motion, it feels like cheating.
They're so fast and so good.
They just every play is.
I also feel like Tyreek Hill doesn't get enough credit for his like ball catching ability in traffic because he's so fast.
Yeah.
That catch he made was it maybe in the fourth quarter when he was jumping up and there was like 2 defenders on him, and it was a pretty incredible catch to get the first down. Like, because he's so good at the fast stuff, we don't give him enough credit for just being incredible even when he has to make the tough catches.
He's got great hands.
Yeah.
He's got great hands, good instincts. He's just a great football player. And when him and Waddle are cooking together, you can't really – I don't think that there's a defense that exists that's able to guard those guys. Your best hope is to, like, you know – get or get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
But if you can't do that, if you can't put pressure on Tua, then you're kind of fucked.
And Tua was looking cool, backwards hat. I fucking love Tua.
Besides the first quarter interception.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dolphins are 12-5 in the throwbacks too.
Ooh.
Great uniforms.
Those jerseys are clean.
Love the throwback uniforms.
I can't wait for next week. Like, if they beat the Chiefs, then everything to me is different, where I'm like, yes, 100% the Dolphins are a Super Bowl contending team. Right now, I have them as a very good playoff team, but you'll get into a game where defense will step up and it will look different.
So we do believe in
right
time
now.
zones, and we believe that the coach that defeats time zones the best has a big upper hand in the European games. McDaniel is taking the guys to Germany tomorrow.
Oh,
So they're
so
going
the
there
Dolphins are
early.
going to win.
The Chiefs are going out there. They're only getting 1 full practice in on Friday
Oh,
over
no.
in Germany.
And
So,
Mahomes does coach.
Dolphins first half.
and
Yeah,
Mahomes
but-
might not be allowed to go because he's got
He's
the
got
flu.
the big C.
As Hank mentioned earlier,
I just made that up that he wouldn't be allowed to go,
the
by
Chiefs
the way.
losing to the Broncos, I think, is bad for the Dolphins.
Yeah, of course.
They
Of
can't-
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But fins up.
Okay, so Hank, season's over.
Yep.
Okay.
Kind of nice, right?
Yeah, we beat the
freeing?
Bills. I didn't even watch it.
Little freeing. Yeah, you've only seen one Patriots win, and it was against
Jets.
the Jets. You would like to beat the Jets, though, again,
Yeah.
because that you have to keep that going,
Yeah.
especially if the Jets keep winning.
Get close. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're fighting. Spoiler.
that would be your one main spoiler that you would want, right?
And the Bills.
Who would you rather spoil?
At this point in the season.
Well, the Bills,
You
I
put-
believe we play at the end of
No,
the season.
Jets is last week of the season.
Oh.
Yeah.
So probably Jets, especially
So-
if Rodgers is playing.
Bills is week 17. Jets is week 18. And next week, you wouldn't want to win that game?
Hank?
You just said the take was on. It's Patriots Commanders.
The answer is no.
Well, okay, preview of next week's game.
Like,
Hank,
I don't.
would you still rather have Mac Jones than Sam Howell?
Sam Howell looked unbelievable. I mean, it's all coaching. I feel like they're probably similar caliber quarterbacks. But Sam Howell, the first half against the Eagles, was throwing
it's all
passes.
coaching.
Like it's all,
Belichick is.
He's saying that Ron Rivera is a better coach than Bill Belichick. If
Yeah,
you're
what is
following the
that?
logic here.
Wait, what? It's all coaching, but Ron Rivera's a bad coach. Bill Belichick's a good coach.
Ron Rivera has gotten teams to Super Bowls.
A team
Cam
to
Newton.
a Super Bowl.
You got Cam Newton to a Super Bowl.
It's all coaching?
It's not all coaching. I'm saying like they're probably
You got
similar.
caught in one there.
No. You guys are just trying to play gotcha.
No.
You said
I'm literally
it's
asking for a clarification. That feels like that was a like Freudian slip where you're like, Belichick sucks at coaching right now.
No, it was not.
That's
not
exactly what that
That's
felt
not
like.
what that was.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what that
You
felt
didn't
like.
realize it until after you said
Yeah.
it. But you just admitted that Bill Belichick is not a good head coach right now.
I did not. I never said that.
You did.
I guess take Mac Jones. I really like maybe just mix it up. Take Sam Howell, see what happens.
Put him with a good coach, Mac Jones.
no, put
That's what
Sam
you
Howell with a
basically
good
said.
coach.
Oh,
Like Sam Howell's bad.
but you just said he was the best
I
quarterback.
mean, Sam Howell's good, but he has bad coaching. So if
Right,
he's
and
good
Mac
with
Jones
good
is-
coaching,
that's what you meant.
Mac
Yeah,
Jones is good,
bad.
but he has good coaching.
No, Mac Jones is bad, but he has good coaching.
So you're saying
So
that,
but
they're
it's
on-
all coaching.
But you're also saying that right now,
That's what I'm
if
saying.
Sam Howell
so like
has
Sam
bad
Howell
coaching,
has good coaching. Imagine how good he's going to be.
So you think that
Got
Sam
it.
Howell is great, like the best quarterback in the NFL with the worst coach?
I never said he was the
But
worst
if
coach.
it's all coaching, if Belichick's a good coach, you should make the quarterback good.
he's making him really good compared to his skill level.
Got it.
Oh, Mac Jones?
Mac Jones is actually
Okay.
worse than we're seeing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. You didn't make a mistake.
Nope.
Oh, man. All right. Next up, Titans, Falcons. Titans 28, Falcons 23. Our guy, Will Levis, 4 touchdowns. Was awesome. Pressured all day. Falcons defense is good. I am happy for Will Levis. He had that moment after we went and found his family. The guy got shit on at the draft. He got shit on by Titans fans before he was able to start a game. I'm very, very happy for Will Levis because he went out and he fucking balled his ass off.
So he has twice as many touchdowns this season as Ryan Tannehill does.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
And also
was
he remembered
awesome.
that DeAndre Hopkins is good.
He remembered DeAndre Hopkins is on our team. It's weird, especially if you're like a Houston Texans fan, seeing DeAndre Hopkins playing for another team wearing Houston Oilers uniforms.
Which
That's got to be strange. They're great uniforms, okay? I'm
Yes.
just strictly talking about the uniforms here. Maybe my favorite uniform in the NFL. One of them. Tennessee Titans should not be allowed to
it's
wear.
bullshit. It's
They-
bullshit.
They gave up the rights to that.
Correct.
When the team moved and they decided to rebrand, they're like, you know what? Oilers doesn't make sense in Tennessee. We're going to be the Titans for some reason.
Right.
I don't know why. And then they just get to go back and use another city's uniform.
Didn't the Carolina Hurricanes wear the Hartford Whalers uniforms once? Like, it's bullshit.
Hartford's mad about
You
that.
can't do that. You took the team from a city. You are the Titans now. The Texans should get to wear the Oilers throwbacks. That's how it should work.
Yeah, the franchise, I understand, can move around. It sucks, but it can. But the colors stay.
Yeah. It's as simple as that.
And it's going to be very weird
And they're sick colors.
when the Oilers play against the Texans because
Yeah.
they are going to wear their throwbacks for
That's
those.
fucked up. But yeah, Will Levis, awesome moment. Awesome first game. He is the second player since 1970 with 4 touchdowns in his first game. Who's the other player? This is not good for the Titans.
Wait. I think I know. Is it Matt Flynn?
No, it's Marcus Mariota.
Oh, okay.
So the Titans have this in their bag.
Uh-huh.
Also, you want a little trivia? This one is a little bit tougher. DeAndre Hopkins tied the record for most touchdowns, first touchdowns caught by a quarterback. So he's caught the first touchdown from 4 different quarterbacks. Can you name them?
Kyler Murray.
No.
Oh, well, I'm off to a bad start.
Will Levis is 1.
Will Levis, Houston Texans quarterback. I'm going to go with
Yates of Hell.
DJ Yates.
No.
it's not,
Deshaun Watson.
not Brandon.
Deshaun Watson is one of them.
Schaub.
No.
Oh,
Matt
Mills.
Schaub
Davis
was,
Mills.
Matt Schaub was DeAndre Hopkins' first touchdown
But not
catch.
Schaub's.
Yes.
Davis Mills.
No. It was Case Keenum, Tom Savage, Deshaun Watson, and Will Levis.
Wow.
I went down a rabbit hole, and I was trying to figure out who it was. So I saw the stat, but they didn't say who it was. And then I was like, so I looked up all the Texans quarterbacks and went back and tried to figure it out. And guess who Ryan Mallett, RIP, who his first touchdown pass was to?
Andre Johnson.
J.J. Watt.
Oh, crazy.
Pretty cool.
That is wild.
That's just wild. That's just some crazy wild trivia right
It's
there.
wild ball.
So four times he's caught the first touchdown pass from a quarterback.
That's cool. And it was great to see Will Levis not only throwing those touchdowns, but they were like sick bombs too. Like
Yes.
they weren't gimme touchdowns. He was balling out today. It was great.
It
Went with the 2-headed monster of Willis and Will Levis for like one series each, I think.
And
right?
Willis got booed. And
Yeah.
and Will Levis, to his credit, afterwards is like, that's not right, which I liked. He's a leader. But yeah, it was great seeing Will Levis in that offense and being like, oh, they can actually stretch the field.
Mhm. And
Like, This is they have vertical threats here.
it is weird seeing the Titans do that to somebody. And if you're a Tennessee fan, this is probably like a good. You officially switched over today from hating Will Levis from being a Kentucky quarterback to loving him now that he's your Tennessee quarterback.
And the Titans are in a weird spot. They just traded Kevin Byard. There's talk about Derrick Henry. They're in this weird transition. There's nothing better if you're in a transitional period with a franchise to have a guy you can get excited about.
Yes.
Will Levis is that guy.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good point, Big Cat.
Yeah.
Will Levis played good enough to the point where you're like, I have somebody to root for the rest of the year. Apparently, they told Derrick Henry that they're not trading him, though.
Oh.
Now, Max
okay.
heard something different on Twitter.com or X.com.
Well, Max heard something different in his brain.
Yeah.
Where he's like Derrick Henry, Eagle.
But they apparently told him, you're going to stick around.
Okay, that's good. As for the Falcons, we finally got the switch. So Arthur Smith switched to Taylor Heineke. Now, he said that it's not the actual switch, that Desmond Ridder is going to be the quarterback next week. Ridder was checked out for a concussion, passed a concussion test, which makes me feel like maybe Arthur Smith was just waiting for a moment where it's like he's out for a play. And it's like, oh, that's convenient. Taylor Heineke.
It's either that or he was playing so poorly that Arthur Smith was like, this guy's got to have a concussion.
Let's check him out.
Which is not good if you don't have a concussion for
Right.
a coach to think that.
Right. To pass a concussion test when everyone's like, dude, you must be concussed.
Yeah, and he's like, no, there's something there. You learned how to fudge that test.
And
I can see
Taylor
through you.
Heineke almost won them the game. If Van Jefferson didn't drop that ball on 4th and 1 in the red zone, the Falcons could have easily won this game.
Yeah, it was a great pass. It was an easy pass that should have been caught. But Heineke led them to, I think he got all their points. Oh, no, they got a field goal in the first quarter. But then Heineke came in and played pretty well. Like, Taylor Heineke's fun. He's a good quarterback. And
Give us Taylor Heineke.
Give us Taylor Heineke. We got more Bijan today. We got 11 carries for Bijan. He still should get, like, Algier got 8, 31 yards, average 3.9 a carry. Bijan got 11, average 5.6 yards a carry because he's about twice as good.
I love it, though.
And a touchdown.
I love it.
And Arthur Smith
love
continues to just kick sand in all the nerds' faces.
Keep doing it, Arthur.
Yeah.
Keep trolling everyone. I can't get enough of it. This felt like, though, I mean, we'll talk about the NFC South when we get to the Saints in a second, but it felt like a game that the Falcons might look back and be like, damn, we should have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, you didn't know Will Levis was going to play as good as he did, but against a rookie quarterback, first start, and you had the chance to win the game at the end, this could be one of those games that they're like, well, that was why we didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah. And it's always nice for a rookie quarterback to have Derrick Henry to hand the ball to.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just going to carry it 22 times. That's 22 times that I won't have to drop back.
Yeah.
Let's just let him cook for a second.
I'm happy for Will Levis.
Yeah.
17% accuracy he improved.
That's pretty
what
good.
He told everyone.
That's pretty good.
When he was joking, but he told everyone.
And he's single.
And he's single.
What a great time to have a great game.
Probably at the Barstool bar right now.
Probably.
And he deserves it.
Yep.
He deserves a night off. Okay.
Can we just say Will Levis drinks for free at the Barstool bar?
Yeah.
If
that
they
sounds
win.
good.
Whenever they win.
Whenever they win.
Yep.
Whenever he throws a touchdown pass.
Okay.
One touchdown pass, drinks for free. That feels right. And Titans, stop doing that uniform. We should protest.
Yeah, but they're sick uniforms.
I know, but the Texans should wear them.
But at what cost, Hank? You have to stand for something or you fall for anything.
The Texans should wear them, man.
Thomas Jefferson said that.
Hank, the Texans should wear them. It's Houston's team.
But would you rather not see them at all or see them?
I'd rather watch Earl Campbell highlights where he's wearing the uniform.
I guess I'd probably, if you put it that way, Hank, I'd probably rather see him. Because isn't that what happened, Max, with the Kelly Greens? Like someone owned them. Like the previous owner owned the color palette or something.
I think it was just the helmets because
they couldn't do the shells.
This was the first year that they could do the Kelly Green helmets, and it looked bad with the other helmets.
Oh, that makes sense, actually. That makes sense. Yeah, they are sick. All right, fine, Hank. I'll take them however I get them.
You know what? Whoever wins between Tennessee and Houston, they get the uniform.
That's what it really should be.
How about that?
That would be that should be the Monday night game, everything at stake.
And both teams wear the Oilers outfits for that. Just one wears blue, one wears white.
No, they both wear the Oilers uniforms, but it says like one says Titans, one says
Texans.
Texans.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I might even take it if it's just the fact that it says Oilers. Did I think all their gear said Oilers today.
I think, let's see, I'm looking at it right now. I don't know if it said Oilers on there.
I thought I saw some guys on the sidelines wearing stuff that said Oilers. I don't like that. That bothers me.
Yeah.
And maybe we're just being pussies about it. I don't know.
No, I mean, I think that Houston has a fair gripe when it comes to that. The Oilers played in Houston.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
That is a fact.
The Oilers they're not a Tennessee team.
That is a fact. Yeah, no, it says Oilers on his helmet.
Oh, on the helmet?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, on the front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it said it everywhere. Damn. Okay. All right, let's take a break, and then we got some more games, and then we'll get to the afternoon games.
before we get back to the games, they're brought to you by our great friends over at Sport Clips. That's right. Sport Clips is the best place to get your haircut. I'm going to go get a perm at Sport Clips. Might get the MVP experience, get the hot steam towel, which is elite. If you've never been to Sport Clips, go there for the hot steam towel. The massaging shampoo is also incredible. I love Sport Clips. Best place for a guy to get their hair cut. They can do it all at Sport Clips. Why? Well, they happen to have giant televisions playing sports all day, every day. So if you want to watch sports while getting your hair cut, that's the place to go. At Sport Clips, every day is clippers and curveballs, high tops and Hail Marys. And at Sport Clips, you check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. So watch sports on TV, get an awesome haircut, get the MVP experience. Sport Clips is an absolute game changer. Check out Sport Clips today. These games are also brought to you by Duracell. Few sports are more technically demanding than auto racing. Because of those standards, Williams Racing only trusts one brand of batteries. It's Duracell. You might not think that you need the same level of performance in your batteries until you do. That's because Duracell is engineered for a more and proud partner of Williams Racing. Duracell is engineered for more. I put all Duracell batteries in my remotes when I moved into my new house. That way I know I don't have to worry about that for years and years. You don't want your remote going down in the heat of the battle. You got to be ready for anything. You don't want to have to change a channel and just press the button like a madman. You try to press it harder, never works. If you have Duracell batteries, you'll be prepared for anything. Learn more at Duracell.com. Check them out at Duracell.com, the official battery of Williams Racing and of Pardon My Take.
Okay, Saints 38, Colts 27. The Saints offense is back. Look at that.
It was huge. This was massive for the Saints.
It was everything. It was Alvin Kamara looking awesome, 110 yards total, 2 touchdowns. It was Taysom Hill doing Taysom Hill, where he had like a 40-yard pass, a 14-yard catch, and then 60-plus yards running with a couple touchdowns. And then the real surprise was my guy Rashid Shaheed catching some bombs from Derek Carr.
He had like 155 yards. Three catches and a touchdown.
Yeah.
3 catches for 155 yards is insane. I think it's his number that makes him look not as fast.
It's his name, too. His name is so awesome.
Well,
I just want to say it.
His name is great, but his number, you see that and you think,
it's deceiving.
Like, is this like a mid-speed running back? No. He is fucking fast as hell.
And I'll say this very clear. If the Saints want to play like this, I'm in. I'm in. Like, that's the thing is the Saints, it's nothing personal. The Saints have just played such a mind-numbingly annoying style of football where it's pass to the line of scrimmage. If they want to air it out because they have some really good players, I'm all the way in.
Yeah, and this was the formula for the Saints. They're 17-1 when Taysom Hill has at least 7 carries in a game.
Yeah.
That's a great stat. I love it. Feed Taysom, give him the rock. Let him do everything with it. Let Taysom Hill just jump around whatever position groups he feels like being in on whatever particular drive. They had 500 yards of offense today. They were fun. The Saints were fun again.
They were fun again.
And it's good seeing the Saints be fun again.
Should we put a future on the Saints to win the NFC South?
You could say that about almost any team in that division.
Well, they play the Bears and the Vikings the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the Vikings without Kirk Cousins.
What does the coin have them at? Because the coin's now 8-0.
Okay.
So let me consult the coin.
Here's their non-conference, non-division games left. I'm going to read them to you. I think we might have to take the Saints to win the division. Their non-division games left are Bears, Vikings, Falcons. Hank, Shane's trying to get your attention. Bears, Vikings, Lions, Giants, Rams. That's 4-1.
In theory, yeah.
In theory, that's 4-1. The Lions would be the only one that I would see them not winning.
Okay, so the coin has them going 11-6. So that sounds like it would win that division.
Let's take a look. Are we just being complete knee-jerk reaction losers because the Saints looked good on offense once and we're like, holy shit, watch out for the Saints? Is that what's happening right now?
It might be. There's a
plus
very good
125 to win the division. Okay, we can think about it. As for the Colts, I don't know. Their friskiness is starting to like wane a little bit.
They're fun to watch.
They are.
They
scored 20 points again.
And they always play in entertaining games. Minshew was doing his thing back there. It looked like he got really injured in the first half.
And I don't know what happened to Jonathan Taylor. They said he wasn't injured, but he had 11 carries for 95 yards in the first half, and then he got 1 carry in the second half.
They fall behind.
So that's but it was still kind of a game for a while there. It was 21-20 for a while in the third quarter. He must be injured. Otherwise, it makes no sense to have a guy doing that and then be like, oh, yeah, we're just never going to give him the ball.
So it would sound crazy to say that they would trade Jonathan Taylor after signing him to a contract.
After signing him, yeah, that is a little crazy.
But that would be the behavior of a team that's going to trade Jonathan Taylor.
Ooh, I like where your head's at.
It would be, right?
Yeah, I like that theory.
You're just like, you know what? We're going to give you Zach Moss.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope it's not true. Because if
it's
you're a
not
Colts
true
fan, you want to have somebody to root for. Jonathan Taylor is the guy that you want to root for now that your quarterback's injured for the rest of the year.
And you want to stay in that frisky category.
Yeah.
Where it's fun to watch the games. You don't know what's going to happen. But I feel like it might be slipping.
Kamara also showed a little burst today.
Yeah.
He might have shown a little wiggle
That
out there.
touchdown run where it looked like he was absolutely going to get tackled for a loss, and he parted the Red Sea and scored a touchdown. Yeah. I agree. He might have been a pass.
He ran with some enthusiasm today.
Yeah.
Like old school Kamara.
I know. He took him a couple of games, but his legs are back in him. I think I'm selling myself on the Saints. This might be bad.
This is going to lead you to rooting for Derek Carr in very, very clutch moments. I'm just warning you. Theoretically, it sounds like a great plan, but are you going to want to root for Derek Carr?
I think it's also my plans are based on if you play the Bears next, like it's a guaranteed win, so get the value now.
It's hard to get a win in the NFL, and if you have one in the bag,
right? And the price isn't worked in yet, but they do play the Bears next, so maybe that's not a bad strategy. Okay, so that was a fun game, very fun game. Let's talk about the Big Ten West performance of the day: the Jets and the Giants. Jets 13, Giants 10 in overtime. This game had 24 punts, 23 points. This game had 15 punts in the first half alone, which was the most since 1991 when they started collecting data. This game had, in the first half, both teams combined going 0 for 18 from third down. And then this game had the stat line of Tommy DeVito, 2 for 7, -1 yard.
Tommy DeVito.
I lost so much money betting on Tommy DeVito when he was at Syracuse.
The Giants had -9 net passing yards. That's the fewest since 2000. I think they had -8 net passing yards before the start of overtime, and then Tommy DeVito threw for -1 passing yard.
Correct.
In overtime. They were doing whatever they could to not allow him to throw the ball anywhere near where a cornerback might be at any point. And it was a very interesting game plan. Now, obviously, Taylor got sent to the hospital.
Yeah, Tyrod.
He took maybe an internal injury that they're going to scope out. But Tommy DeVito, people forget he wears the chain with his initials on it.
Yep.
It just says TD.
Yep.
He is a fantasy fuckboy, and they did not trust him to do anything. And there was a moment where Dable and Saleh were both kind of looking at each other from opposite sidelines, both understanding the mess that they were both in at the time. But the difference is Dable was like pissed off about not being able to do anything.
And he was wet. He was so wet.
He was super wet.
He got so wet.
Saleh wasn't wet. He was shiny.
Right.
He was like glistening. And he was like smiling like, this is such a fucked up game. I love it because he's learned to embrace the chaos that goes along with not having any offense. So he's like, if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. So I'm just going to put it all. Like, we're going to see what we can do with Zach Wilson.
And Saleh was like, oh, they have more fucked up quarterback situation than we do right now.
Yeah, he was loving it.
This is incredible.
He was loving
it. And then you just had like a wet blueberry on the other side in Dable, just like going up and down the sideline. I don't know what he was. It was some team issued gear, but it was one of those raincoats that it wicked all the water, but it also held all the water on it. So he just, like, if he shook himself like a dog, he would make someone instantly drenched.
He looked like a zit, kind of, because he was starting to turn like a little pink at the end.
He looked like the chick from Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
Violet Bogard. Yeah. He was just
Violet Beauregard. Yeah, she gets rolled out by the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, he was just he was very, very angry. I don't know why the Giants have a quarterback on their roster who cannot throw the ball. That feels, I know obviously third quarterback, you don't expect your third quarterback to play. It's not going to be a great situation if he comes in. But they literally didn't want Tom, like they were so scared of Tommy DeVito throwing the football. He threw everything within 2 feet of his like face, And I don't know who we can protest to, but Saquon Barkley deserves like FedEx Ground Player of the Week because he had 128 yards in an offense that literally couldn't throw the football. Like that was the most impressive performance in a loss that anyone's ever had.
I guess you could say, why didn't Dable give him the ball on that 4th and 1 when they kicked the field goal that missed? Graham Gano missed in the rain at the end, towards the end of regulation.
Which was this game fucking rocked. It was so stupid that it became fun. It was the perfect Zach Wilson like entire story arc where 4th and 10, the game's about to be over. It's like a minute and a half left. You have 2 timeouts, 4th and 10 from your own 30. You have to just throw the ball. You have to throw the ball and take a chance. He takes a 10-yard sack that puts the Giants directly in field goal range. The Giants can't throw the ball, so they run it 3 times, then they miss a field goal. And then Zach Wilson takes him down the field in 2 plays for the tying field goal to take him to overtime. It was everything Zach Wilson. Like, how do you take that sack? And then how the fuck did Zach Wilson get him all the way down the field?
And they spiked it with 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah.
So we have a narc out there in the media.
Uh-oh.
Our friend Boomer Esiason.
Uh-oh.
He played for the Jets, right? He's a Jets quarterback.
He was, yeah.
He tweeted out that the center actually spots the ball before the spike, not the official. The spike play shouldn't have happened. Game should have been over. And then he tagged the NFL and also NFL officiating in the tweet to narc him out. Because if you watch the replay, at the very end of the game, Zach Wilson throws the ball across the middle of the field. It's caught. They have a first down. They have to get up there and spike it to attempt a field goal. The center runs up to the ball, and the center puts the ball down. The referee sprints in and just ever so slightly taps the ball and runs away. Apparently, the referee has to pick the ball up and put it down to spot the ball, but he just let the center do it. And if the referee had gone over there, picked the ball up, and spotted it correctly. That's what the Cowboys messed up in that playoff game where they ran that weird play with like 13 seconds left. You remember that?
Yeah.
Against the Niners, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they fucked up because you have to wait for the official to do it. Apparently, the center just took matters into his own hands and said, I'm going to spot the ball. I dare you to stop me. Do something about it. And they got it off, spiked it with 1 second left.
So I'm actually going to take the opposite side because our guy Jeff Schwartz, who played offensive line in the NFL, he wasn't one of those pretty boys like Boomer who got to play quarterback. He said the center did an awesome job checking the spot with the line judge before putting the ball down. So he basically did the judge's job for him.
Is this cool?
Yeah, he was like, is this cool? Then the ump touched the ball to spot it, and they clocked it.
I just disagree with Boomer turning his back on the Jets like this.
Yeah, but that was if Jeff Schwartz is right, that was a heads-up play by the center.
Yeah, we can give the center credit.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is they got away with it, so it worked. So good job.
And no one wants to see a game end where you can't spike it.
No, I hate that.
It's the worst.
I hate that when the ref just stands over the ball and the precious seconds are ticking away, and you're just like, snap it, and you can't because this guy's here making the game all about himself.
It's the most unfulfilled. I mean, it happened to me when I was at the Rose Bowl and Russell Wilson. That literally happened where they didn't get the spike off. It's the most unfulfilling way for a game to end.
It is.
To be like, no spike off. Memes is walking with his chest puffed out.
He feels sorry for us, Big Cat.
He is.
He feels sorry
He
for
is really feeling it. I walked into this office, into this studio, sometime around the second games. Memes was sitting in my seat, feet up, on the phone. Like big boss man taking phone calls. He's feeling himself.
I was in PFT seat. I was on the phone. Feet were not up. But me and my dad were talking about the Jets game.
I liked my version better.
Okay.
So let's go with my version.
All right.
I might have made up half of it.
You were in my seat. Were you farting in my seat?
He had his feet up.
Max says yes, you were farting.
And he was, PFT, this is what he looked like. He was like, yeah, these other fucking franchises, they stink.
They don't know what it's
the
like.
The Jets were the best.
No, my dad called me. He was like, that game fucking sucked. I was like, yeah, it was a great 24 seconds, though, at the end.
Yeah.
So some quick punting stats. Thomas Morstead had 10 punts for 486 yards.
Nice.
3 inside the 20. Jamie Gillen for the Giants had 11 punts for 470 yards, and he put 5 down inside the 20. This was a great punting game.
Great punting game.
Thomas Morstead had 3 inside the 5.
Yeah.
15th player to do it since 1970.
Wow.
Huge punting game for Morstead.
Best player.
So, Memes, you are feeling yourself a little bit because you got to see Aaron Rodgers throwing a pass, wearing a hoodie before the game, and you're thinking to yourself, this guy's coming back, playoffs, we get Aaron Rodgers back, and we're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yes, but also 24 seconds away from just this being the worst podcast of all time.
Was that not
personally.
was that not the most Zach Wilson thing to have that? Because like that 4th and 10
was brutal.
That was crazy, and it wasn't even because I had some Jets fans being like he has no time. He actually had time on that 4th and 10. There's no reason to just not throw it. Like, what's the worst that happens? An interception? It's 4th and 10.
Yeah, nobody was open, but you still got to launch it.
You still got to throw it.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah. It was, and then to do that, to turn around and go down the field. Man. Zach Wilson, where you at?
I'm all in on him.
All
okay.
in.
All in.
He kind of reminds me of Jameis Winston. You never know what you're going to get with him.
That's disrespectful to James.
Yeah, that is. Do you think he would have played better today if he did an apple pick on the bye week?
No, I think he would have played better if it didn't rain. I said it a couple weeks ago. He can't play in the rain.
Yeah, that's true. You did say that. You called that.
He can't play in the rain. This was very close to being like the Patriots lost. You lose to the Patriots.
Society, if there was no such thing as rain, and it's just a complete utopia with Zach Wilson, Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, it's rained in New York every single weekend for since we moved.
That's
tough.
why we haven't done the bike ride.
Yeah, that's
Tandem
tough.
bike ride. Yeah.
Memes, you are excited though, because it does look. Aaron Rodgers throwing a pass like he's throwing it right now is actually insane. It's nuts.
You also, Memes, like you should be very excited because the Jets have like a weird, I don't want to say team of destiny, but there's something weird going on. Like this is 3 wins in a row.
And they're winning weird, ugly games in strange ways.
Right.
Which means that they're probably doing a lot of little stuff really, really well.
And I'm starting to kind of believe in the Jets, which like if non-Jet fans, NFL fans are starting to believe in the Jets, that means that something's going well because I would have no reason to believe in the Jets.
After they beat the Bills, after Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles, you knew something could happen.
It was the Chiefs game though. That was the turning point. The Chiefs game, I feel like that was a loss that counts as a win because you came out of it being like, oh, Jets might be okay.
Yeah, we should have won that game.
Right. And then you've won 3 in a row. And we get the Jets on standalone primetime
Twice.
2 weeks in a row.
Memes is acting like a different person on the show right now.
Oh yeah, no, he was.
I don't know
so
what he's
cocky.
doing. Like he's going around saying that if they were in the NFC, they'd be the 1 seed in the NFC. He's like, yeah, like they're pretty good. All day he's been talking about how the Jets are the best team in the NFL. After winning 13
Max,
to 10,
Max,
NFC.
when he says about who's the 1 seed in the NFC right now?
that would be the Eagles because they
What
beat
happened
the
when the
Eagles.
Jets play the Eagles?
How many losses do the Jets have? How many losses do the Eagles have?
I'm just saying.
CPFDC's my side.
I see memes.
So
aside.
Memes, you're not telling us the truth right now. You're playing coy.
Best team in the NFC. I'd say right now, technically, we beat the Eagles. So, yeah, I like.
No, not technically. Like literally, you did beat the Eagles.
Yeah, we
They
did
don't
beat
have to
the
talk
Eagles.
about what happened to the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Doesn't-
Wait, so you're saying that the Eagles aren't the best team in the NFC?
No,
Max?
I'm just saying that Meme just picks and chooses what is good for him.
I love your guys'
Memes,
relationship
that doesn't
because
sound right.
you guys are each other's biggest haters.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to Hank, and then you'll team up on Hank.
Yeah, it's true. That is
So
actually
not
facts.
only do we get the Jets in prime time on Monday Night Football against the Chargers, then we get them Sunday Night Football against the Raiders, and then skip a week. And is that Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
They play the Dolphins.
yeah, Black Friday,
So a lot of that's the Black Friday game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a lot of.
and that's also a big game for me because I said the Jets could beat the Dolphins last week.
Well, you said right now.
Right now, that's
Right
true.
now.
Good point, Memes. Thank you. Right now is past.
Right now
Memes,
has
I'm going to bring you back down to earth for just a second.
Yeah.
Your offensive line sucks.
We lost 2 more guys today.
Yeah, your
Oh,
offensive line
no.
is not good. Dexter,
that might be good though. When you lose bad players, it might not be the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's actually
You know
a fair
when you
point.
have,
It's
like-
that's a weakness of their team. And
Yeah,
they
like-
just lost the bad guys.
It couldn't get worse.
So Dexter Lawrence had 14 pressures today. 14.
Man.
Your
Yeah,
defensive tackle.
Thibodeau. Although Thibodeau, that one penalty, that might have been the deciding factor because they got the clock stopped
Yeah.
on that first chunk play after they got the ball back.
To quote your coach, Memes, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Yeah, this final score should have been 7-6.
What? For the Jets?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Did you guys? So the defense almost The defense on the Giants touchdown just gave up like 2 personal foul penalties. Which
Yeah,
got him
Well, that's
Okay.
not.
like
You don't
5.
give those up. You commit those.
I'm also
well,
I'm also going to jump in real
It was
quick
tic-tac.
and remind you that you did play against Tommy DeVito, and so if
Can't throw.
Tyrod Taylor was still in the game, that I don't know if it would have. It probably wouldn't have had -9 net passing yards.
Like, you know, when they do the hypothetical, like, oh, how many like rushing yards could you get behind the best offensive line in football? I think I could have the same stat line as Tommy DeVito today.
-1
1 yard,
pass.
2 for 7.
Yeah,
I just do pop passes,
some
2
dump
pop
offs.
passes.
They should have got him going. Yeah, with like a little like direct pop pass or a shovel pass.
Yeah,
Let him
right.
Cook a little bit,
Like, you don't, and then just throw it at someone's feet the minute you get the ball.
or just arm punt. Throw it as far as you can for an interception.
Yeah. No, he didn't even throw an interception, did he?
I don't think they trusted
Yeah.
enough to throw an interception.
Shout out fellow Syracuse grad Andrew Cattle on one of the ugliest best games you'll ever see on the call. We all LOL'd in the cave.
Wait, who?
Andrew Catalan, he was on the call. He said one of the best, ugliest best games you'll ever see.
Got it.
Yeah, it was. It was a very
was
fun game to
entertaining,
watch.
yeah.
You know, it was the Big Ten West game. It was Iowa, Wisconsin.
You got a big
It was
road win.
Nebraska, Purdue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great game. Okay, next up, Panthers, Texans. Panthers 15, Texans 13. Bryce Young's better than C.J. Stroud.
That's what the stats say today.
That's it.
Fun fact.
We've figured it out.
So that was the first time that the top 3 picks had played in a game together at once. Kind of wild.
Yeah.
So Bryce has beat the Stroud boys, and Stroud boy, we're gonna regroup. We're gonna retreat. We're gonna talk about what went wrong. We're not gonna turn on each other, and we're gonna be fine. I think the Texans will be okay, but the Panthers needed this. They needed they need this particular game. 1, coming off a bye week. 2, having something for your fan base to look at and say, okay, Bryce Young might be the guy. He might be the guy.
And Frank Reich, good job being smart enough to not call the plays anymore.
Yep.
That was good by you. I also walk away from this game being like, we should celebrate the 0-16 teams more, because this is a reminder how hard it is to lose every game.
Yeah.
It is any given Sunday. And the Panthers, I mean, it was not a pretty game, but they won a game.
They did. The field goals at the end were so funny, too, when Eddie Pinheiro was out there. And the Texans employed the strategy of just trying to time the snap every single time.
Yeah.
And this one guy was like 5 yards offsides twice in a row.
It was like when you played in Madden, you're like, how can I stand in front of the kicker
Yeah.
when they snap the ball?
You can just make somebody rage quit. That's
Yeah.
what he's trying to do, make the Panthers rage quit at the end of the game.
Yeah.
By committing the same foul over and over and over again. Be like, I can do this all day.
It's a smart strategy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what are they going to do? They're just going to give you another fight. He's going to make it anyway. They already were well within field goal range. But shout out the Panthers. They won a football game. I don't want them to win any more games, but they won a football game.
Mm-hmm.
That's good for them. Must feel good. Texans, are we worried? They're just kind of what they are.
The Texans will be okay.
They're a future team.
They'll be okay. The Texans you're still good. You're still way better than people thought you would be this year.
But there was a time when it was like, ooh, Texans could be in the playoffs.
I
Now
thought
it's-
playoffs
Yeah, now
last
it's like, hey, let's just enjoy the fact that we have a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I
And
thought
his name's not Deshaun Watson.
I thought playoffs ? Last week.
Right.
Now I'm like probably not playoffs.
Probably not playoffs, but I mean, they're still 3-4, but yeah, probably not playoffs.
So
But
you're-
good for the Panthers.
Your Super Bowl this year will be playing the Tennessee Titans for the rights to the Oilers uniforms.
Right. Also very funny when Eddie Pinheiro hit the kick, and then he like a little kid jumped on his lineman's back, and like they were running up the field.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a very he
Backpacking.
forgot he was a professional athlete for a second.
Yeah, I love those.
He was a
moments,
little
though.
boy.
I love it.
Yeah, he was a little boy. Okay. Next up, Broncos 24, Chiefs 9. The 16-game losing streak is over. The Broncos have finally beaten the Patrick Mahomes Chiefs. Good for them.
Yeah, this is a big win for the Broncos, and it's also the snapping of maybe a more impressive streak that they had, which is that they were 0-10 in games in which they held the lead at halftime,
Ooh.
which is crazy. So now they're 1-10 in their last 11 games of that. But this was like the Broncos were the better team today.
I don't know.
It never really felt like the Chiefs were going to make that comeback. You kept waiting for it to happen. Mecole Hardman had that one muff punt, and then it was pretty much over after that. But I felt like the Broncos were in charge of the game.
Okay, so yeah, maybe the Broncos are a better team. I guess what my point is, if I were a Chiefs fan, I wouldn't be worried about this game at all. They had 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
Like if you have 5 turnovers, you should lose by more than 21-9. Like the fact that they were the muffed kick, punt return, they were down 14-9 getting the ball back. Like the Chiefs could have won this game if they didn't have 5 fucking turnovers.
Yeah,
and they like outgained the Broncos. So I'm happy for the Broncos. If you're the Chiefs, that's a different loss than like the Niners and their 3-game losing streak where their defense keeps getting gashed. I think that's just that happened, burn the tape. Like, let's stop fucking turning the ball over constantly.
The Chiefs will be fine as long as Patrick Mahomes doesn't have swine flu.
Right.
And it's like a multi-week illness that he's got. But I think today, like, turnovers go into the equation of which team was better.
Yeah,
the Chiefs turned the ball over a lot. The Broncos were the better team. I think more importantly, we all got fucked. We all got fucked on a snow game. It happens every year.
We got it last night, Colorado State Air Force.
Yeah, where they were throwing snowballs.
Incredible.
On the
Yeah,
field.
they got a penalty.
But we got fucked on our first snow game of the year where in the morning they'll show you a clip of like how bad the stadium is. It's like 8 a.m. And oh yeah, we've got like 7 more hours until kickoff. They're probably going to clear off some of the snow. So we all got excited about a snow game, and there was no snow on the ground
There's
at all.
no snow. Yeah, and I would say more than the turnovers, because that was kind of a fluky, turnovers obviously are part of the game, but there was some fluky shit that happened to the Chiefs. They have to stop dropping passes.
Sky
They had
Moore had a
another
bad
one in the end zone that could have made it a 1-score game late.
Sky Moore, he caught Kadarius Tonyitis.
Yeah. So the Chiefs, that would be the big thing. That would be the big takeaway is like stop dropping passes.
Yeah.
You probably won't turn the ball over 5 times again, but stop dropping passes.
Yeah. But you're happy if you're a Broncos fan, just because you get the insult stack goes away.
I have a question: does this make Russell Wilson worth it?
No.
So the last 6 Broncos quarterbacks, couldn't beat the Chiefs. Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco, Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, all couldn't beat the Chiefs.
No Brock in there, huh?
No, Brock did not. He was like, there was injuries. He missed the Chiefs.
Huh. Yeah. So congratulations, Broncos fans. You've gotten the monkey off your back.
And I think Russell Wilson's worth it.
He might. What if he becomes the Broncos killer, and that's all he does?
The Chiefs killer. Yeah.
Yeah. Chiefs
Yeah.
killer.
Well, he's also already
Also
the
the
Broncos
Broncos
killer.
killer. He's got that.
I did like how the Broncos were playing Taylor Swift after, because now we get to start the narrative that we've all been waiting for. Travis Kelce in games that Taylor Swift attends is averaging 108 yards per game. In games that she doesn't attend, 46.5 yards per game.
You want to play harder for your girlfriend, right?
You do want to play harder for your girlfriend, but she's going on tour.
Was she watching today?
I don't know.
Did she put anything online? Can we look that up?
I don't know.
Is she a real fan?
You know this take is going to happen.
Oh, it's already happening.
Kansas City radio.
They put it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
They said there's a very clear difference in games where she attends versus the ones that she doesn't.
He's too love struck when she's not there. He doesn't want to play football.
He's got too much cum in him.
I'm not going to go there.
He's got too much.
I will not go there.
It backs him right up.
She's
You're
promoting
saying.
her new album that was out this weekend. I don't see anything about Travis Kelce.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
What is it? 1989 Taylor's version, I believe.
Yeah, it's a banger.
And they broke the record. Broncos.
Yeah.
16 games. Damn.
Maybe they didn't give her tickets.
Yeah.
Because if you're an opposing team, you can just say she's not allowed here, right? You can ban anybody from the stadium.
I was at the Blackhawks game last week, and I was saying to Donnie, like, you should just hire Taylor Swift lookalikes and just put them in a box, show them on the fan cam.
Yeah. Why not? You could probably find one on Cameo.
People would freak out, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have a bunch of them.
Yeah,
Put him up
Yeah.
at the suite level too.
Right.
He's looking. He can't find her,
right.
It's just everywhere.
or maybe he'll play really good because everybody looks like his girlfriend.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea, Hank.
I just think, get the people going.
Yeah, get the people just talking about it. Yeah, the Chiefs now, this Germany trip, the fact they're going on Thursday.
So late, yeah.
So late.
Oh,
Because I think they'll win against the Dolphins, but yeah, I mean, if it goes, Chiefs were the team that I felt the most confident in the AFC. And again, this game is not a game where I'm like, oh man, what's wrong with the Chiefs? They had 5 turnovers. Like, you just don't turn the ball over 5 times. But if they lose to the Dolphins, then you got to start asking questions.
It feels like the Chiefs are trying to trap us. They're like begging us to say the thing that people say every year, which is like, what's wrong with the Chiefs?
Yeah, you're
should
right.
The Chiefs trade away their good players at the deadline?
We shouldn't fall for it.
You're trying your best, Chiefs, and I appreciate it, but you're not going to fool me. We already gave them the AFC West title last week, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so you already have it. No take-backsies. Speaking about doppelgangers, I don't know if you guys watched on Sunday Countdown this week. They did a special on NFL doppelgangers. They had like the Trevor Lawrence girl that looks like Trevor Lawrence and a couple other people. The Aaron Rodgers guy from like Europe or whatever. Then they were like, who are the ESPN doppelgangers? And they had Alex Smith. They put up a picture of Ryan Gosling. The picture looked a lot alike.
Okay.
He's a good-looking guy. And then they said, what about Adam Schefter? And then they put up a picture of Paul Rudd. And they're like, doesn't he look just like Paul Rudd?
Oh, man.
And I thought I was going insane looking at my television.
Shefty.
I was like, Shefty, what? Good for you, Shefty, for approving this package. But I don't think there's a guy on earth that looks less like Paul Rudd.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shefty. You got to take that shirt off
Take
again.
the shirt off.
Take the
Show
shirt off.
people how
Oh, maybe
rich
the
you are.
Vikings should call Shefty.
Yeah.
Play some quarterback.
Maybe gritty a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Before we get to the last 3 games, let's do our last ad, PFT.
Yeah, before we get to our last games, it's brought to you by our good friends over at Blue Chew. Love Blue Chew. Great new sponsor. You can have better sex with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is currently the only place to go for chewable versions of sildenafil and tadalafil. These ingredients help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer-lasting erections for sexual activity, Hank. It helps combat all forms of ED, which also includes performance anxiety and also maintaining an erection long enough for sex. The chewable tablets have the same active ingredients that you find in Viagra, but it's in chewable form. It's at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew is all about having confidence when it comes time to perform and having happy and healthy relationships. A Blue Chew subscription includes a free online consultation. You get 24/7 medical support. You get a prescription if approved and discreet delivery straight to your door every month. Chew it and do it and use promo code PMT for your first month free. Just give it a shot. You can use promo code PMT. You're going to get your first month for free when you go over to bluechew.com. And remember, use promo code PMT.
Okay. Ravens 31, Cardinals 24. Fuck Nelson Aguilar for just, I don't know what he was doing on that onside kick. That was insane.
So I didn't see the onside kick because I was frustrated with how this game turned out to begin with.
Yes. We all-time Cardinals cover at the end by the onside kick and getting the penalty on a missed field goal, their own penalty, getting to retake the field goal and hitting it and covering the 9.5.
The penalties at the end on the field goals were bad because it was a penalty for like offsides, right?
Yeah.
It was offsides on your own
False
field
start,
goal.
yeah.
Field goal block team. False start. And then they missed it wide right. The second one went right down the dick. It was a tough way to lose a cover, but it does extend Lamar Jackson's career record against the NFC to 17-1.
Yeah.
So he continues to dominate the NFC. And also congrats to the Cardinals because when you're looking at the draft picks, you're now holding the first overall pick.
Number one. Maybe Kyler Murray comes back. You rip off a couple wins, but you're number one right now. Also, that touchdown by Trey McBride was awesome when he had the entire Ravens team trying to tackle him.
Yeah,
if I was Trey McBride, I would just have that touchdown playing on loop when you walk into my house.
Yeah, that was the best game by a Cardinals tight end in a very, very long time.
Yeah, just make that like a piece of art that's just a gift that's over your fireplace.
Your wall, your entire.
It's just you trying like 5 grown men trying to take you down as you just carry them all into the end zone.
The entire front siding of your house should just be a giant projection.
Yes,
of that play.
a drone light show.
And if you're the Ravens or if you're the Cardinals, you got the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Let's not be greedy here.
No, you got the Diamondbacks.
And then the Suns are
and
probably
you got the
gonna be
number one
good.
pick.
Yeah, and the number one pick. You're
and
fine.
you got the number one pick. And as for the Ravens, they didn't play their best game on offense, but they still are better than the Cardinals, which I was thinking that maybe last week was going to be the jump off point for Todd Monken's offense. Lamar didn't have like the best game, but they still handled him pretty easily. And the Ravens defense was very good.
They were fine. So the Ravens have gone in a matter of like a couple years complaining about blowing all these fourth quarter victories that turn into losses to now you're just complaining about blowing fourth quarter covers.
Covers, yeah.
That turn into backdoor
Good problem to
covers.
have.
So it's a great problem to have if you're the Ravens.
Yeah. We do have a little Odell watch. He smashed his helmet in frustration.
Yeah. Was that because
He got injured, but he also had 0 catches.
I think he drew a pass interference on that, and he was like frustrated that he didn't catch it. I think that did he spit into his helmet before he did it? That's my big
I don't
question on that
know.
one.
But maybe a diva watch?
Oh, I mean Odell's he's been up there.
Yeah. But I do like the purple hair. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah. And the Ravens ran the ball. I wonder if the Ravens are going to try to get a running back because they also are in the Derrick Henry
Discussion.
where it's like they have Super Bowl aspirations and they might want to try to beef up that running back room.
I always feel like the Ravens can plug whoever back there. If Lamar's running the ball well.
Yeah, he
it
didn't
makes
even
it
run the ball today.
It makes
yeah.
it a lot easier on anybody else that's in the backfield.
Yeah, but the Ravens are looking pretty good at 6-2. I feel pretty confident about the Ravens. They have a big game against Seahawks next week, which will be kind of a who's for real situation. Because I'm high on the Seahawks as well, and they didn't play great against the Browns today. If either of those team wins that game handily, I'm gonna be like, ooh, watch out.
I think the Seahawks are for real.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about that game. Seahawks 24, Browns 20. They did struggle a little today. I mean, they basically needed P.J. Walker to turn back into P.J. Walker at the very end with that interception to win the game because they came out so hot, looked like it was going to be a rout, and they just toyed around. The Browns were able to run the ball, and they needed heroics at the end to win that game, which I did not going into it. I did not think that's how that game was going to play out.
It's kind of similar to the Jets, how they win a bunch of weird, strange games in different ways. The Seahawks have actually found themselves in that position where they're in first place in the division.
Remember we had that discussion on Friday, and I was talked out of it because of our friend George Kittle.
They're in first place.
They're in first place right now.
I did not see the 49ers losing.
They are in first place right now. When I said that it was plus 400, now they're plus 250.
And it's Jake Bobo time.
Yeah. That guy's awesome.
Just fun to say.
I fucking love him. I love him.
The Seahawks wore great throwback uniforms today, too.
Yeah, they did.
Jamal Adams made a big play wearing the throwback helmet, bounced right off it.
Yep.
Got the pick. P.J. Walker putting the ball in his hands. People are going to be questioning a lot of things Stefanski does. But I actually think that Stefanski is doing a great job coaching this team this year with P.J. Walker mostly running the show.
Yeah, I guess they have to figure out, like, hey, Deshaun, are you going to play this year? Because their defense has the last couple of weeks been not the defense it was, the historic defense the first month and a half of the season, but their defense is still awesome. You just need a B level quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
PJ Walker, nice guy. I think his ceiling is like C. So, Deshaun, are you going to play? Are you going to play?
I think he's going to come back maybe next week, maybe the week after.
What is he even injured? What's
it's
the
his
injury?
Rotator cuff.
I don't buy it.
So, yeah.
I don't think he likes football.
A lot of people were having the discourse. Does Deshaun Watson love football?
Mm.
Does he love being a football player or does he love playing football? I love that conversation.
That's a very good.
Because I think he just loves being a football player, Big Cat.
He loves being paid like a football player.
I don't think that he loves
football.
He doesn't love the grind.
I hope he uses this clip as...
that's a bad choice of words.
I hope he uses this clip as, like, a lot of people have been doubting my love for the game.
You know what? I'm going to doubt Deshaun Watson.
I'm going to call him out. I'm going to call him out.
I think
I'm going to call him out.
I think I love football more than Deshaun Watson does.
I know I love football more than he does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call him out.
If you could cut off my arm, I'd still go out there with my boys on Sunday.
Absolutely.
If I was on the Browns.
I wouldn't fumble.
No, never.
With one arm?
I have too much pride to fumble. My details are that important to me where I'd never fumble.
No chance.
Don't take a sack in a big time scenario where you're going to get backed up out of field goal range either. I know that. I would never take a sack.
I'd throw the ball away.
I'd never take
every time.
You know what? Because an incompletion is not a bad thing to happen.
Nope.
And I know that because I love football.
I'd also make plays. I'd make plays happen.
I'd make plays with my arm and my feet.
Mm-hmm. And my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can read a defense.
Yep.
Front and back.
I would
back and front.
You know what else I'd do? I'd grab guys by the face mask if they're not on their assignments.
Yeah, I'd headbutt people without my face mask on.
I'd pull them over and I'd say, no, you're running the wrong route.
That's just guys that love football, unlike Deshaun Watson.
I would also never throw my guys under the bus.
Nope.
There's a lot of things I wouldn't do.
Never talk about another man's money.
Never do that.
I'd be the first one in, last one out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. I wouldn't go apple picking on my bye week.
Nope.
I'd be in the room. I'd be in the film room.
I'd be in the film.
Grinding.
I'd have my nose.
Nope, I said grinding.
I'd have my
You
nose
said-
in the playbook all the time.
Yeah,
All the time.
all the time.
Just I'd be studying.
24/7, 365.
I'd be studying every play. I'd know every play. I'd check into all the right protections. Is another thing I would do.
Yep. See who's hot.
Yep.
See who's not.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff.
I would reward my guys for hustling.
Audible.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Deshaun, it's pretty clear right now that we love football more than you do.
We just rattled off all the things that you don't love.
that
Deshaun
real
probably
football
was
guys
listening to
do.
this podcast, and when we started talking about how much we love football, he turned it off. He's like, "These guys are freaks. They love football."
I would love the preparation even more than the games.
Easily.
That's just
Practice is where I shine.
That's what a freak I am.
The weight room.
Mm-hmm.
I live there
I get in there. I'd be lifting with the O lineman. You know what?
all day.
I'd be hanging out with the O lineman after work too.
I'd buy them gifts.
So many
not
gifts.
even for Christmas.
You want
just
it-
for being alive.
Every day I would see my offensive line. I would give them another Yeti cooler.
Yeah. Yeti cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're going cheap. I'd be getting them the fucking tricked out golf carts every day.
That'd be sick too.
They just have so many they wouldn't know what to do
Well,
with.
you have to have the golf cart to put the Yeti cooler in the back.
That's true. They're hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get them Yeti golf carts.
Get them cowboy boots.
Yeah.
All of it.
Watches. Only maybe like a couple times a year. Not too flashy ones.
PS5s, cash.
Listen, I love football way more than Deshaun Watson loves football.
He's been called out.
He loves being a football player.
Deshaun Watson, if you're listening to this, tell us your favorite thing about football. Bet you can't.
Mm-mm.
You're probably going to say the money.
Yeah, you can't say that. You can't.
I'd play for free. I should have said that to start. I would play for free.
I would pay them
yeah.
to let me play
$1.
for the honor.
because they'd have to pay me $1.
It's a privilege to play in the National Football League. A lot of guys think that no, it's not it should be given to you. I disagree. I think it's a privilege to go out there and you protect the shield.
And if they had to pay me because of like rules and everything, the NFLPA, I'd restructure my deal every fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
Move money around.
I'd be so cap friendly.
Oh, I'd give my guaranteed money back. That's how much we love football. Hank, how much you love football?
We're just different.
Not that much.
And that was Deshaun Watson. That was our interview with Deshaun Watson right there. Okay.
I hope he hears that.
Yeah.
I hope somebody cuts it up and
Someone
sends it
send that to him. All right. Last one. Bengals 31, Niners 17. Uh-oh.
This was a can't lose. I said going into it, it's a can't lose for both teams. The Niners lost.
The Niners
You
are in
can't
trouble.
lose. You can't lose.
All right, so we should start with saying that the Bengals are all the way back. These are the Bengals that if you're a Bengals fan, you spent the first month saying to yourself, I don't think this is the real team. I think they'll be back eventually. But as the weeks went by, you're like, I'd really like to see it eventually because even in their wins, like their Monday Night Football win against the Rams, it wasn't great. Their Seahawks win, the offense didn't look great. This was the Bengals announcing they're back because Joe Burrow was out of this world good, 28 for 32, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he ran the ball, 63 yards running, or 43 yards running, sorry. But, like, you could tell that play he made where he almost got sacked like 4 different times.
He was throwing guys off him.
Yeah, he's healthy. And this is what you want from the like if you're a Bengals fan, you are having the best night of your sleep of the 2023 season. I know that for a fact because you're like, we're good. Joe Burrow's back. We got the Bills at home next week. And we just they kicked the shit out of the Niners. They ran all over them. They did everything they wanted.
Yeah, the running game was really good, and Burrow did look like himself, and Jamar Chase was always open today.
Always
He was open the entire game. It was pretty sick to watch the Bengals round into form. We did get robbed of one of the best plays of the day where Burrow fumbled the ball. They ruled that he was already down, so they blew the whistle. The center on the Bengals picked up the ball. Karras probably could have gone for like 35 yards running straight downhill with the ball, and they ruled it that he was down, but it was a fumble. I really wish that we could have gotten that because it would have been a great highlight.
It's also great whenever an offensive lineman picks up the ball because they have 2 competing thoughts in their head. One is, I got to start running. And the other is, they start looking around like, who am I going to fight?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could see it in his face. He's like, who am I going to fight? Someone's going to try to tackle me. I get to fight someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much fun to watch that happen at the same time.
I love it when they take the ball and they immediately go into like ball protection mode.
Yeah,
they
fullback,
They put 2 arms
Goal line,
on it,
yeah.
like one arm on top, one arm on bottom, and they just start running forward and eventually just get their knees cut out from underneath them and go down. But it's a great play, and I'm sad that it got taken off the books today.
As for the Niners, they're in trouble. Their defense is been bad the last 2 weeks. I know everyone wants to talk about Brock Purdy, who's also not been good, and people are like, "Ooh, is Brock Purdy starting to turn back into a pumpkin?" I have more confidence in Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel coming back and the Niners offense looking like they have for the first 6 weeks of the season or 5 weeks of the season. The Niners defense is the issue.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't play that poorly today.
That one interception was bad.
Yeah, he had a bad interception, but the rest of the game, I thought Brock was good enough to win, but their defense just stunk.
And they got gashed again. They got gashed against the Vikings. They got gashed against the Bengals. Like, that is a cause for concern because 3 weeks ago we were like, no one's going to beat the Niners. Now they've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Yikes.
There's some bad stats out there that are following Kyle Shanahan around when it comes to playing from behind. The first one, which is not good, is that Kyle Shanahan as a head coach is now 0-37 when trailing by 8 in the fourth quarter.
Ooh.
So the Niners, I think it's fair to say that the Niners are not built to play from behind. It's tough for them. They like to run the ball a lot, and especially when they have Trent Williams out and Deebo Samuel out. It's going to be very, very hard for them to come back from. They're not like super, super explosive. But there's another one where I think they haven't won a game either, or maybe they've got one win when they're trailing by 3 in the fourth quarter too. So Shanahan, not the best at coming from behind. You have to jump out to an early lead.
But again, it was I don't really think I think their offense will be fine. It's just their defense is, it looks bad. It looks bad. The Vikings had 452 yards on them, and the Bengals put 400 yards on them tonight. Like, that's not a Super Bowl defense right now, as the last 2 games have been played.
Yep.
I hope Brock Purdy. We're gonna start the discourse, and it naturally will happen. He was being talked about in one way when they were 5-0, and now he's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Are you worried?
I'm not worried about Brock. I think Brock is kind of who Brock is. But the defense is
But it is Brocktober.
It is Brocktober.
And it hasn't been Brocktober.
He did come back from a concussion pretty quickly.
And
so
he might have gotten concussed again today.
There was a moment where he hit his head on the ground.
We had like a Tua situation.
He started like grabbing his head.
Yeah.
Not good. But again, if you're going to rank like what's the problem with the 49ers right now, I think Brock is probably 3rd on the list.
Yeah, and they have a bye week. So
Yeah.
they're going to get healthy.
Yep.
And they'll be good. Possibly.
I think they'll be okay.
Their defense has to be fixed.
But the Seahawks are good.
They missed D'Amico Ryans.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is.
They got Wilkes. Is that their defense coordinator?
Listen, D'Amico's a good fucking coach. And now they're not in the they're not in the driver's seat in the NFC West anymore.
Nope.
Okay. I guess we could talk real quick about the Bears. Tyson Bagent, maybe not the guy.
Yeah. Is that good? I think it's probably overall a good thing because if he was guy adjacent, then people would be putting a lot of pressure on Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. You probably wouldn't get the 1st or 2nd overall pick.
He does get the ball out fast.
And he's fun.
Very fun. I also thought the first interception, I don't know, I'd have to watch the All-22, which I will because I love football. Felt like the receivers both ran the wrong route because it was very bizarre. Mm-hmm. Looked like he threw to a spot and neither guy was there.
Yeah. So do you guys have any teams or any players that you're going to be unloading?
No.
So you're going to stick with these guys?
I don't think we have any. I don't know if we have much that people
would want.
Yeah.
Cole Kmet.
Yeah, but I want, he's young.
Yeah.
Like, DJ Moore's young.
Yeah.
You don't want to give up. You have to, at some point, try to build a roster. The Chargers looked great, though. I think they scored on every single offensive possession. The Chargers basically walked away from that game being like, wouldn't it be fun to play the Bears every week?
Yeah, if you're a Chargers fan, you are probably looking at how big Everett looks every time he touches the ball and being like, that's sick. I love that we've got a giant tight end that nobody should be able to tackle.
That stiff arm he put on Hicks was little boy-esque.
It was.
It was like trying to, little brother, big brother, trying to get at him, and he couldn't.
There's a few guys in the NFL when they have the ball in their hand, and you look at them and you just say, like, it's impossible to tackle this person.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Chargers look good, and Justin Herbert looked good. His finger thing is so weird. Like
it was Parham.
Oh, it was Parham.
It wasn't
yeah,
Everett.
Everett's out.
Everett's out.
Yeah, Parham.
But Parham is even
Everett's
bigger.
also big. Parham's
he's
bigger.
No, yeah, Parham is 6'8".
Yeah, Parham's a beast. I guess Tyson Bagent only threw 2 interceptions. I thought there was a third mixed in there. Yeah, Justin Herbert looked great. Getting to play the Bears defense. 2 things, though, that I'd love to just point out national media-wise. I believe it was Collinsworth said the Bears aren't built to play from behind.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears aren't built to play from ahead. The Bears aren't built to play with a tie. The Bears aren't built to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that was. Like, this team can't play from we can't play anyway.
I don't think the Bears can beat you in a shootout.
Yeah. There's any type of game you want to. The Bears can beat Brian Hoyer.
The Bears can beat the Commanders if Dick Butkus just died.
Yeah, right. This is like, it was a pretty stark difference when you play against Justin Herbert versus the Raiders. And yeah, that one was bad. And then Jason Garrett on the pregame said he loves how Eberflus has righted the ship.
Mm-hmm. I think Jason Garrett just wants a job. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I don't. The definition of righting the ship, because they won 2 games against a bad Raiders team and a bad Commanders team. No offense.
No, we're bad.
I don't think we've righted the ship.
No,
I think the ship has not been righted. I think the ship's still taking on water.
Briefly, it was like, you remember when the Titanic broke apart and half of it sunk down,
Yeah,
and then
this might float,
and then for a second half of it stayed up until the bottom half dragged it down. That's where you guys were at.
Yeah, we righted the ship and we're like, hey, maybe.
Yeah.
This is a lot of metal. Maybe we'll stay up.
And now you've got Eberflus clinging to like a door like Jack.
Yeah.
But then Rose lets go.
Yeah.
And Ryan Poles is going to let go. You told me you would never let go, Rose.
That guy, well, I got to shout him out. I think his name's Ross Reed. He had it was Eberflus walking in, and I think it was Ted Phillips and Ryan Poles behind him, and he's wearing basically the same suit as Joe Pesci in Goodfellas right before he gets whacked.
When he gets made?
Yeah.
In the maid ceremony?
Yeah. So, things aren't going well. I'm not going to say the take I want to say. I'm going to say it.
Say it.
I didn't love that Justin Fields was wearing sunglasses.
On the sideline?
I didn't love it. I know this makes me sound like an old guy.
I agree, but
I don't know.
If you show up to your job,
I don't know.
If you're at your job and you're wearing sunglasses, you are a piece of shit.
Did you not think it was a little weird?
It might have been bright on the sidelines.
Might have been bright.
Marijuana's legal in California.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You sound like Colin here.
I know. Listen, I said that before. I was like, this is an old man. This is going to be an old man take. Maybe it's because we were losing and it was bad. And I want Justin Fields to play, and I want to see what the rest of the season looks like with him. I just didn't love the sunglasses. I know there's going to be like old radio guys who are going to have the same take as me, and that will make me feel old. But guess what? We're in the trust tree. Part of my take, we let it fly. We shoot from the hip. I didn't love it.
There's an old saying. There's 2 types of people that wear sunglasses indoors: blind people and assholes.
Right. Did anyone else have the same feeling, or was it just me?
Make of that what you will.
Okay. I'm going to do a quick Twitter search.
You don't want to do that Twitter
Fields
search.
Sunglasses. There's going to be people agreeing with me that I do not agree with in general.
This seems like Danny Cannell is all over this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a Danny Cannell. You're absolutely right.
This is Danny
I'm
Katz.
morphing into Danny Cannell.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Danny Knatz.
Yeah, Justin Fields wearing sunglasses indoors looks like an asshole. I love Justin Fields, so I know. Listen, we've had him on the show. I feel like I can say this. If I were standing next to him, I've been like, maybe if we're winning, the sunglasses play. When you're getting your ass kicked the way we got our ass kicked, maybe take them off.
You know what? If you guys win that game, they become deal with it sunglasses.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's
it's
what
just,
you wanted.
That's really what it is. Now that I'm happy we talked this out, it's not the sunglasses, it's the loss in the sunglasses.
Yeah, because it gives you one more thing to be. Because you know what? You don't want him.
Oh, no.
You don't want him to look cool as
no.
you're losing. Coward.
Rodney Harrison just came at Justin Fields on the post-game show for literally no reason for wearing sunglasses. All right, I'm disavowing myself.
What?
I had no problem with him wearing sunglasses.
What was your take with Deion? It's the same thing.
Yeah, no, I don't think Deion should wear sunglasses when he's coaching.
Okay.
Coaches wear sunglasses all the time.
But at night.
Transition lenses.
Deion does not wear
those.
transition
Coaches
lenses.
wear
Those are not transition
They are.
lenses.
They're just always reflective.
Those are not it really is. As I'm talking this out, it really just comes out to winning and losing. If you win with sunglasses, it's cool. If you lose with sunglasses, it's like, come on, man.
It's like painting your nails.
Yeah.
If you lose and your nails are painted, then it's like, dude, why are you painting your nails?
Right. It's like when
if you win, it's like, this dude's got swag.
It's like when Brady Hoke didn't wear a headset on the Michigan sideline.
Yeah.
When you lose without a headset, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
When you win without a headset, it's like, oh, he's good.
Yeah.
No problem.
You just don't want to give anybody a thing to point at.
Idiots like me a thing
Yeah.
to point at.
Yeah.
Anything to point at. So I'm disavowing my own take. It was a momentary lapse. I know that there's people are going to make this take, and I'm going to be like, I don't like these people who are making this take.
Are the lights too bright for Justin Fields?
Shit. I put myself in a box with this one. It's going to be on Monday morning. Stephen A's probably going to do it. Howard's going to do it. Skip's going to do it. I hate myself. Cannell's for sure going to do it.
Here's the thing is,
I fucking hate myself.
Cannell is going to be pissed off that he wakes up tomorrow and he didn't have this take first.
Yeah, I hate myself. All right, officially disavowing my own take. No problem with the sunglasses.
You have a problem with the losing.
Have a problem with the losing and the way we lost because we got our ass kicked. Happy we talked that out. Okay, let's finish the show with Who's Back of the Week. Brought to you by Roback. Roback question. Use code TAKE, RHOBACK.com, Roback.com, promo code TAKE, Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. I'm wearing the joggers right now. You can see me. Flexible. I'm flexible.
I saw on Instagram that they're doing fleeces.
Oh, I'm in.
Yep.
I'm all the way in.
Big time.
Hell yes. Roback.com, promo code TAKE, the most comfortable clothes in the world. Hank, Who's Back of the Week?
My Who's Back of the Week is Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Technically, he's not really back. Tyson Fury, they boxed Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou this weekend in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's where it was?
Yeah, that's
I
why
was
it was
wondering
at 2
why it's a
o'clock.
weird time.
I
Yeah.
hate that. Every fight should be in Vegas.
Yeah, because I kind of saw it during the day. I was like, damn, I would have watched this if it was at night. I don't really like the Logan Paul boxing. Like, those don't really draw my interest too much. But like Tyson Fury, just two big men fighting is what you want to see. Two heavyweights.
Francis Ngannou also has the perfect
champion fighters.
Well, it's also the perfect, like, he's not a boxer, but one punch.
Yeah, and
it's why I bought every Mike Tyson pay-per-view after he was completely washed. I was like, but what about that one punch?
And he did get a punch on him.
Yeah, he got a bunch of punches on him, knocked him down, was still, he had his energy. He was fighting till the end. Split decision, but a lot of people were saying that he won.
So who
So
won?
he's back. Technically, Tyson Fury won the split decision.
I've
But
never.
Ngannou's back.
It was crazy because like Tyson Fury always looks a little bit out of shape, but he looked so out of shape next to Ngannou. Just like they look like different species.
Yeah. He did. He was the heaviest he's ever been.
Was he?
As they said. Which
I like-
bullshit for the announcers to say that.
Yeah.
It's like he's the fattest he's ever been.
But I almost respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
so
how cocky you have to be to go into a fight and see your opponent looking like Ngannou
And
and,
be like,
saying, you know what, I'm just going to eat a lot. I don't really need to train that much for
Yeah.
it.
well, I
I'll
mean,
beat him.
Anthony
heaviest
Joshua.
ever.
I mean, obviously, he trained against Anthony Joshua. He probably just didn't train as hard for this, but now he's maybe going to do more actual, heavyweight boxing fights. I think I saw somewhere that the Fighting Commission was going to rank Ngannou as a top 10 ranked boxer. So if he fights again, potentially it could be for a championship.
This is the whole reason he wanted out of the UFC, or wanted Dana White to give him the ability to do this, because he probably made more in this fight than he made at the UFC in his career.
Definitely.
It's crazy. Okay, good. Who's
Yeah,
back?
I saw his brother Tommy Fury made like $10 million doing the YouTube fight
Jesus.
against KSI.
We should become fighters.
You were, Hank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got 10K.
But we love football
Taxed.
too much.
Too much. Because you know what, it'd be a distraction if we started a fight. It's like, is this guy really focused on football?
All right, PFT, your Who's Back?
My Who's Back of the Week is Flava Flav.
Oh.
Yeah.
Flava Flav got brought out at a Bucks game to sing the national anthem. And you know what? On a sliding scale of how good I thought Flava Flav would do versus how good he actually did, he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
He absolutely crushed it.
At the twilight's last gleaming, oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Now, on a scale of people who are actually invited to sing national anthems at professional basketball games, probably like right above Fergie and nobody else.
I would love to know, because whoever made the decision is hilarious.
Yeah, agreed.
And I'm sure there was someone on the inside who didn't really. They're like, yeah, Flavor Flav, rapper, sure. Not knowing Flavor Flav. And then when they saw this, we're like, why the fuck did we book Flavor Flav to sing the national anthem?
Yeah.
But it was worth it because it was a very, very funny video.
Yes, it was.
And he tried.
Yeah.
He tried.
No, he did a good job.
He did try.
For Flavor Flav.
For
Yeah.
Flav.
I think he probably performed as well as he possibly could have.
Where do you think New York is these days? I love New York. That I loved her. She was the best.
That show was on Young Enough. That show and the who was the blonde haired rock star? Keith.
Oh no.
Every rose has its thorn.
You're talking about Poison, Brett Michaels.
Yeah.
Brett Michaels, Double Shot of Love. Brett Michaels.
Yes.
Was that Rock of Love?
Those, or maybe it was Rock of Love. Double Shot was, I forget.
He would
that was
always
Tila Tequila.
Yeah. Nazi.
Those, problematic. Those shows were on when I was young enough where I didn't understand celebrity, and it blew my mind. Where I was like, how do these guys have all these girls like just competing, like Flavor Flav? Like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
It was the best.
And Brett Michaels used to always walk into a room and just be like, "What's the going on?"
Yeah.
That was like his catchphrase. It was great. I said, "What's the going on?" Like every time I would walk into a room that year.
New York versus Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Oh, one of the greatest rivalries of all time. When she spit on her, the best. That was a great show.
VH1 really had a nice little run.
And
Yeah.
the girl that like won ended up dating,
Hoops.
getting married to
Hoops.
Shaq.
Yeah, she had game.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah. All right, my Who's Back of the Week is the World Series. 2 games in. It was actually very funny because when we were in Madison, I offered to buy tickets for everyone, and I offered to buy tickets for Max on, must have been Monday or Tuesday, and he said no
This is fake news.
because he thought the Phillies were going to be in the World Series.
This is fake news. This is fake news.
Damn.
This is just not true.
Yeah.
This is not
It
true.
sounds like it's true. What Big Cat just said.
I said
The
that
date-
I-
wait, the
I
dates
wasn't-
add up.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was Game 7?
I asked him on
I-
Monday. Game 7 was Tuesday, and he was like, "No, I'm good. I don't want to go to the game."
Correct.
Because he looked at the World Series
Not-
schedule and he saw
incorrect.
Saturday night is
Incorrect.
Game 2.
Incorrect.
Well, you just
I
keep
never
saying-
said that I didn't want to go to the game. I didn't want to go into the game. It was cold. Can't drink in the stadium. I wanted to go to the bars.
Okay.
That you just completely made up that narrative that
It
it was
had
because
nothing to do with the World Series.
it had nothing to do with the potential World Series.
Okay. How was the World Series Game 2?
Didn't watch it.
Oh, at all? Wasn't on at the
No,
bar?
I was watching the Badgers.
Oh, okay. But Game 1 was incredible. So it's 1-1. Diamondbacks. We're rooting for the Diamondbacks. Our guy Dan Herron. Game 1, though. The craziest stat ever. So obviously they played another road game last night, but after Game 1, the Diamondbacks had played in 4 road World Series games in the history of their franchise, and 3 out of 4 of them they had given up a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah,
Game time.
there was a wild video that went out there about George W. Bush, who threw out the first pitch.
Yeah.
And they did a
saw
mashup of George Bush throwing out the first pitch in this game. Also in the World Series back when it was in New York, when he threw that heater right down Broadway. And then the left-handed home runs that lined up,
Yep.
the opposite field
Seager,
shots that
yep.
lined up. It was crazy. We're about to have Iraq War 3 if this keeps going.
Ravel also was like, if I'm George Bush, I would never throw another first pitch out because you just ruined the one in 2001. No, he didn't.
No.
That's still an iconic first pitch that will never be taken away. I don't even remember what his first pitch on Friday night looked like.
He bounced it.
So, okay.
But
who cares?
The pitch in 2001 is, I mean, you talk about
Ravel definitely has
primetime player.
He definitely has some type of memorabilia. He probably's got a piece of the dirt or something.
He's got a ticket stub from that
Yeah,
game.
and he's like, now it's not worth as much because we know that he bounced one.
Yeah, but that was game 1 was incredible. And
Yeah.
I was driving home yesterday and listening to some post game on it. And Buster Olney was talking about the Diamondbacks pitching staff and their coaches.
By the way, this is way older than my sunglasses.
Yeah. I was listening
He's
to baseball
listening to-
radio.
Baseball post game.
Post game radio, yeah.
That's old school.
100%.
Way older.
Oh, you love to hear the guys. And they do like a 2-hour post game show, and God bless them for figuring out things to talk about baseball for 2 hours nonstop. But Buster Olney was like, Dan Herron is the pitching architect He's the architect.
He probably heard us talking him up.
He's the architect of this Arizona Diamondbacks rotation.
I think I think he has a locker right now. He tweeted a picture.
He should.
Like an analyst locker.
He should. He's the architect.
Fuck, we got to get him on. I hope they win. I hope we can get him on drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Be great. Okay, Jake, finish us off. Your who's back.
My who's back of the week is Dylan Brooks being a villain. First off,
LeBron stopper.
he got cooked today by Steph Curry. I don't know if you guys saw the highlight.
I did.
And second off, when asked about Victor Wembanyama when they played over the weekend, he said he's tall. That's really it.
Yeah, I love that take.
People got mad.
No, I love that take because that's every guy that doesn't actually play basketball. They just point at a guy who's 7 feet tall and be like, he's just tall. If I was that tall, I'd be a great basketball player too.
That's like when Shaq in his heyday, when I was a little kid, one of my first worst takes was like, he's just bigger than everyone. He's not that good.
Yeah, if he wasn't allowed to dunk, he wouldn't be good at basketball.
I think he's embracing being the villain. I think it's good.
Yeah, well, you got to be
for the game.
you got to be good at basketball to also embrace being the villain. Because if you are bad at basketball and embrace being the villain, you'll just what is it? Memes? What's the meme?
Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Memes. I needed you there.
Wait, did you say the Batman line or the Ready to Learn Chinese?
What the fuck? Batman line.
Hey,
No,
he thought
he's
you were
saying-
saying you either die hero or live long enough to become a villain.
No. Get ready to learn Chinese. You that's like one of your go-to memes.
That is. Now it's get ready to learn Canadian when somebody plays bad in the NFL.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that is good.
I like that, eh?
What
Sorry.
about ready to learn flag football rules?
Well,
That's
you,
good, too.
You could win a gold medal now. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Steph Curry did hit him with
Yeah, he hit him with
the crazy scream face.
Yeah, the Home Alone. Okay, good show, boys. Good show. I think we're going to do a hockey preview on Wednesday.
I like it.
Hank, you have to remind Ryan Whitney.
Okay.
Or Mike Grinnell.
Okay.
Ryan Whitney.
On it.
Everyone tweet Whitney and say, remember, you have to do Pardon My Take at 2:30 Eastern on Tuesday.
I like
Please
it.
tweet him that, a reminder. Okay. Hank, have you ever gotten this?
No.
That a boy. Good answer.
Have you?
Good answer. All right, numbers.
18.
31.
20.
31, huh?
Someone's going to get it today.
I'll go 70.
What's it 31, Hank?
Someone's going to get it today. Shane? 10 for Shane. What'd you go?
31.
We'll give Evan
PF's
69.
birthday?
You did it for my birthday? Thanks, Hank.
Halloween?
He didn't remember your birthday.
No,
Halloween?
Memes, what was yours?
Mine's 3. Evan's is 69.
Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Oh.
Why is it going, not going?
Did you break it, son? Did you break your new? Did you break your new toy?
Here we're good. We're good. We're good.
18.
Oh, I love that sound.
Yeah.
It starts up. Sounds like an F-18 lighting both candles.
Yes! Oh, yes! Yes! You are such an idiot!
Why'd you go 31?
You're such an idiot!
First person in the brand
Shut the
new
fuck up!
studio. It would have been a historical selection.
That's your number, Hank! That's your fucking number, dude! If you had been the first, it would have killed me.
You got so cute with it.
It would have killed me if you were the first. And that's your number. You guess it every time. And you didn't guess it this time.
Why-
And it went 17.
Why did you take 31, Hank?
That literally is your number. That's insane. That's your number. You could have been,
Shut the fuck
do you
up.
know how
There's still
much
time?
Do you know how much you could have flexed on us if
A
you had
lot.
gotten that
A lot.
instead of any
flexed
of
a lot.
us? Like that's your dream scenario. And with 17, why did you go 31? Why did you go 31?
I don't even want to say it.
No, you
No,
should.
you
though.
have to say it.
Because you
I'm
have
not.
to blame something.
You have to say it.
Stooley gave you the number.
I guess the
He's never
person's
going to get
name.
it now.
There's just some fucking
Hank.
dickhead who just keeps DMing me.
Hank.
Oh,
Yep,
you
I
took
knew
a
it.
rando's
Yep, I knew it.
Hank.
He can't even hear me. Hank's the worst.
Hank
Hank's
stink.
shit.
Hank stinks.
Yeah.
Hank stinks.
Hank's the worst. Hank's the worst.
Hank, why did you do that?
Wow.
You know what? We could do one more.
Let's count.
Yeah, it could count. Hank, you want to do one more? Nah.
I don't think we should.
Nah, we won't. I'll do one that doesn't count. I just want to see. We went 17 again. Oh, I wish it was 31. Hank, that's brutal, dude.
It was 50.
That's brutal.
Tommy.
Count though.
Tommy gotcha.
Blame Tommy.
Why would you listen to Tommy Smokes?
Not Tommy Smokes.
Love you guys.
Damn, Hank. You're not gonna sleep tonight.